It's time to watch a grown adult be correct for 3 hours straight. That's right, we're going in to the Day 9 Hearthstone Boomsday Project card review, starring me, Day 9. Now, as a brief preface before we get started, do note that card reviews are largely about having fun, not about trying to predict the meta that no one has gotten the opportunity to play. So, if you want to be critical, please do so in an entertaining and over-the-top fashion, because that's exactly how I'm going to be doing my review. And with that said, let's talk about precisely how the meta will function when this expansion is released on Tuesday, August 7th. It is in a mere 100 hours and change time, 10 a.m. That's when I'm going to be live on Tuesday. And all my predictions will come true via watching me play. Let's kick things off by looking at the Biology Project. Okay, here's the thing, right? If you look at the way that the Hearthstone meta is functioning right now, I feel like it is a really good description, really good depiction of tempo plays, and really what tempo means. Tempo is about getting a big spike of power at a particular time that can feel a little bit insurmountable. I think there's two classic examples right now. One is the ramp into a bunch of dragons Druid, right? We try to gain a bunch of mana, and then suddenly we play a Master Oakheart, which brings out a Dragon Hatcher, and another, the guy, the 1/5 that says end of turn effects trigger twice. So the Dragon Hatcher pulls out two dragons, right? On one turn, you would now have a 5/5, a 1/5, a 2/4, and generally two large taunty dragons, right? One turn, big spike. Or you might do something where, there's the even Warlock that tries to, boom, get at a Mountain Giant on turn 3, a Twilight Drake on turn 4, and these are such significant threats that this spike of power is a little tough to deal with. However, if you can wind up lasting through that, a lot of those decks tend to peter out. I think Biology Project is a really interesting card in trying to... It's a really interesting card, I think, specifically for those kinds of big burst of power coming out there, right? Because, like, Biology Project, I like this description from Nosekiller. It says this is like backwards version of Armageddon from MTG. Yeah, Armageddon is, I believe, is Destroy All Lands. This says everyone gains some damn land. There is a lot of decks that don't really make good use of extra mana crystals in the same way that something like a Taunt Druid that uses dragons is just trying to burst out huge flood of dragons all at some point in time. I think Biology Project is going to be a fringe card that's going to be cool AF. I'm absolutely going to be running it, but I think it's hard for me to imagine what can come of this other than... already a lot of the Rampy Dragon decks are pretty optimized for, like getting a huge spike of dragons out. And if any of you have played with those decks, you really feel ultra powerful until you just kind of are playing one dragon a turn, and then that kind of sucks. Whatever. I think this is going to be a very marginal card. I don't really see this ever being able to work in any aggro deck. The reason being, you're spending an entire card to do nothing, and then you're going to burn your cards out. So I think this is a card. I'm absolutely going to get all hyped about this one. I love that one. Landscaping. Summon 2/2/2 Treants. Okay, Blizzard. You know what Blizzard likes to do? They like to foist their Treants upon us. Every single set, they're like, here is what we want you to do with this class, right? Here we have, you know what, Treants? You love Treants, don't you? You always wanted to be a gardener, didn't you? Yeah, well, we're going to serve it to you in the form of, like, 11 Druid cards that do this, okay? Summon 2/2/2 Treants. Boo. Not good. Aggro Druid has never been a thing ever once in the history of the meta, especially not in the last year. So I think Landscaping is going to be an absolute garbage card for garbage men like Oscar. Gloop Sprayer. This is not a euphemism. This has nothing to do with the penis or semen or any of that. And in fact, this image is not evocative of either of those things in any way. And in fact, Blizzard doesn't have the word gloop or spray or floop or goo or ooze or snoop or any of those words anywhere else in the set, so we don't really need to worry about that. The Gloop Sprayer, summon a copy of each adjacent minion. Much like the euphemism that we're not going to refer to, this is a win more card. I think it's going to be relatively rare to see Gloop Sprayer in a position where, well, okay, I take it back a little bit. Here's what I'm thinking. Here's how I think Gloop Sprayer is going to be used. Here's how I'm going to claim Gloop Sprayer is going to be used, okay? There's, I'll use the ramp Druid that uses lots of dragons, right? Uses a dragon hatcher, so I have a 2/4, now I have a 4/12 with the threat of bringing out another 4/12, things like that. Those decks, those ramp dragon decks have spikes of power, but they kind of suck when you're just playing one card. Pass. Play another dragon. Pass. Play another dragon. Pass. Gloop Sprayer, I think, can serve as another type of Hadronox, another type of Master Oakheart that just kind of gives you another spike in there. I can imagine one-ofs being run in these kinds of things. I don't imagine this being run in some sort of weird mid-rangey thing. It's costly at 8. I don't know, maybe there's going to be some weird biology project into Gloop Sprayer, which is in no way a euphemism. Dendrologist. If you control a treant, discover a spell. I don't know why you keep foisting our treants on us. We don't want to garden. Gardening is not cool unless it's hydroponics and we're on Mars. Dendrologist is a extraordinarily generously statted card. It does a lot. A 2-mana 2/3 that can give you a spell and it lets you discover it. Woo! That's a hell of an upside. If you control a treant, do that. Thing about treants is, okay, hold on. I'm going to come over to here. I'm going to click on this, and then I'm going to readjust this, and I'm going to come back here. Perfect. Here's the thing about the way that treants function. What's the difference between 2/2s and 1/1s? 1/1s really are never going to be doing anything on their own unless there's some sort of additional buff, right? Like, having a whole bunch of 1/1 wisps are fine if you have Soul of the Forest. Or if you can Savage Roar them, right? 1/1s don't really do anything. They're sort of just like shells that you get to fill up with your turtle ideas. All right, good. We don't really need that metaphor anymore. So, 2/2 treants, on the other hand, actually do have some staying power. They actually can have some influence on the board state. And so I really feel that if there are treants that are going to be there, it's going to be a lot more about persistently slamming down 2/2s that are just doing things all on their own that only need marginal benefits here and there, such as this Dendrologist peel and a spell. But I mean, I just don't, I look at the existing token druids, and those are real efficient. Those are really good. Mwah! Very well optimized decks. Tempo Storm Meta Snapshot has been consistently putting the token druid as a tip-of-the-line tier card deck. So, I don't really know about these treants. Here's something I'm going to just state right now. For all you brainiacs out there, okay? Or I guess I should say for all you hyper-emotional knee-jerk reactionaries, aka internet users. If you look at cards in the Boomsday project, I've been seeing a lot of chalk, even me, as a completely hyper-emotional, nonsensical being. It looks like the power level's really, really, really high in this set. But remember, Hearthstone is a deck that is heavily dependent upon synergies within the deck. Token Druid's a great example. A lot of those cards, dumpster shit awful on their own. Together, the synergies are really strong, right? Hearthstone is very much so about the deck, less about individual cards. And any of these cool cards that you see, if you imagine them in your existing deck, oh my gosh, Token Druid with a Dendrologist, oh, wouldn't that be cool? You have to identify something that you would cut in order to put that in. And this is, I think, the most important thing, and perhaps the most overlooked thing when it comes to power evaluation and deck building in general. If you suggest a card, you got to also suggest what gets cut. And Hearthstone often has very optimized, very tight deck lists where it doesn't really seem like there's much that you could wind up cutting. So this is kind of the fate that I see the Dendrologist having. This is a baby card for babies. Mulch Muncher, obviously only good if treants are good. We've identified that as bad, and we reject it without even needing to try it. Mulch Muncher, having an 8/8 rush is actually sickeningly good. Actually, why the hell? You know what? Treants suck, but the Mulch Muncher is a tip-top. No, actually, it probably sucks. Yeah, like, an 8/8 with rush is really nice. It's really, really, really nice, right? It's really... Ooh... 8/8 as a stat line is generally obnoxious to deal with, and this impacts the board the turn it's played. Ooh. This might actually be the only good Treant card out there. Tending Tauren. Give your other minions +1/+1 or summon 2/2 Treants. I don't even know what to think about this card. This card is baffling. Shinkari says, are you being sarcastic about the Treants thing? I actually don't think the Treant deck is that interesting. I don't really think it's that interesting to me. We have Tending Tauren. Yeah, it's... What about Witchwood Apple? Oh, talk about a meta-defining apple. Whoa! For any of you who didn't know, in my last card review, I absolutely shat all over Witchwood Apple, like so much. And then on the card reveal stream on Wednesday with Mike Dene, which was a lot of fun, we picked 2 Witchwood Apples, and I was like, oh yeah, this is obviously one of the strongest cards in the set. Referencing my shitting all over that. And of course, someone on Twitter like didn't get it and was just like, how on earth does he think Witchwood Apple's good? Darn any meta, you're bad! Go back to... And then he just named a bunch of different games. It was great. Yeah, so this, give your other minions +1/+1. If you look at the existing token Druid decks, Power of the Wild is often run as a 1-of. It's not particularly strong. +1/+1 is very okay. It's like a very okay thing to do to all your dudes. Especially for 6 cost. I mean, yeah, there's odd paladins that run the raid leader that's giving +1 attack to everything. And that's very floody. I don't know. Summon 2/2 Treants. Like getting a 3/4 and a 2/2 and a 2/2 on turn 6 is only good if you're already doing pretty good work on the board. Nah. Not that interested in that. Juicy Psychomelon. Ridiculously good card. Are we kidding me? Oh my god. Have you ever seen such a sensation? This card is ridiculous. The reason it's ridiculous is that if you're running any sort of Rampus Bampus action, you often really struggle to have nice card draw. Ramp decks often have the ramp cards, a small number of supporting cast and crew so you don't die, and then the big juicy Psychomelons, as it were. And so now that the literal juicy Psychomelon is being printed, this is an extraordinary way to be able to draw the precise threats that you want. You can often get into a rough position where you're just top decking not so great stuff. So a lot of the ramp decks often wind up in a situation where they need some sort of very juicy synergies going on to get enough of spikiness on the board. I mean, I'm absolutely going to be running a ramp druid with like 2 copies of this. This is spectacular. Dream Petal Florist. At the end of your turn, reduce the cost of a random minion in your hand by 7. Disguised Toast immediately. I just heard him vibrating in Los Angeles. He's getting so excited for this. He's having to meme with it on the air. Ah! He's getting ready to YouTube video after YouTube video on this one. Let me tell you, Damp Petal Florist, if you want to get yourself a calm boner, you run the Dream Petal Florist. That's how it's done, okay? Oh, a deck that only has Malagos and Faceless Manipulators? I don't even need a Twig of the World tree. I just run 2 Dream Petal Florists. Ooh. Get these out, man. Oh my gosh, look at this dank Petal Florist. We're going to be slam-a-jamming them down. There is no doubt in my mind there's going to be some profoundly stupid... I'm going to repeat something in chat in a moment. There's going to be some profoundly stupid Malagos-based deck that runs 2 Dream Petal Florists. Or maybe just 1. I'd like to highlight something that was said in the chat by Quinlo. It says, oh god, I thought those knees were balls. Yes. Yeah, these knees there, when you said that, I looked over and I immediately saw it, and it caught me off guard. You saw me interrupt myself in the middle of the sentence because I looked and I was like, did Blizzard really put balls on a Hearthstone card? No, those are knees. No, those are knees. Those are knees. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if they were Treants, because Blizzard's always going to be trying to shove those in my face in the Boomsday project. Okay. Scrolling on down. Phlebidinous Floop, which is, by the way, in no way a euphemism, not at all. While in your hand, this is a 3/4 copy of the last minion you played. Disguised Toast, I mean, his pupils are dilating, his back is arching, his little footsies are cramping, he's biting his lower lip going... Forbiddenest Floop is absolutely going to be a useful card in some sort of ridiculous combo deck. Absolutely. A 3/4 copy of the last minion you played? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Do I want a 3/4 Malagos? Yeah. Yeah. That's going to be good. In particular, there's noteworthy things you can do with Forbiddenest Floop that you can't really do with a Faceless Manipulator. In particular, you could play Malagos, let Malagos die, and then the following turn play a Forbiddenest Floop for 4 mana, and then you have a Malagos, and then you can Faceless Manipulator that Malagos. Now you have +10 spell damage, right? Ooh. I mean, there's a lot of derpy things you can do with this, where you can play the card, and then the next turn play this again. I even think that this has space in a in some ramp decks, right? You play the Dragon Hatcher, it summons a dragon, you lose it, you play Forbiddenest Floop, which is a 3/4 Dragon Hatcher for 4, and now you have some extra mana left over. Onaria says, if someone has Azalina in your hand, do they have to transform to Floop or the original one? I don't know. I have not been a programmer on Hearthstone in a long time. But I do know that when I was a programmer on the Hearthstone team, I try to include as much pasta in the code as possible. Is it a good meme? Did we meme? Oh my god, we did it, everyone. Round of applause. We hit the meme right on the head. That's incredible. Oh my god, he really is the thought hammer. Slamming it in. Floop's Glorious Gloop, which is in no way a euphemism. Absolutely not. Only mature adults play the game. In fact, so mature, we don't say mature, we say mature. We don't say harassment, we say harassment. We don't work in finance, we work in finance. We're mature adults. I really suck at drinking. So whenever a minion dies this turn, gain 1 mana crystal this turn only. This is a fascinating card, and I think it's very intelligently costed at 1. Okay. The reason being, I feel like there's this concept in Hearthstone that is like super important, which is the idea of swing turns. So, really simple example of not a big swing turn would be like a Flame Strike, right? I kill a bunch of stuff. You don't have a board, but I, as the mage, I don't have a board, right? Like, it's a big value turn, but it doesn't really, like, swing the momentum very much. Sweepers, combined with an extra creature, can be a little bit of a swing, right? Like, if I say Equality with a Pyromancer to clear your board, I have 6 mana left over, and I say play 2 dudes, that turn was a little bit of a swing. Or the classic Rogue. You have a big dude out, Rogue doesn't have a board, Rogue plays a dude, Vilespine Slayer's your dude, now the Rogue has a board and you don't. Or plays a bunch of things and saps one of your creatures. I, the Rogue, have a board, you don't. Right? There's these types of swing things that are really, really important. Because in Hearthstone, all your creatures are effectively removal spells. And creatures pile up damage really fast. Having any creatures on the board is so important in Hearthstone. And so what I think is interesting about Floop's Glorious Gloop is that it is a creature-based way to have a swing turn, right? So I can have a whole bunch of tokens out, maybe, you know, a bunch of, let's just pick a tribal class at random here. I don't know, maybe some tree ants are on the board because Blizzard's been throwing those in our face for a little bit, haven't they? Oh, they're so shameless. If you have a bunch of tree ants out, you play the Glorious Gloop, you can slam those tree ants in there, lose all your tree ants, clear all the opponent's board. We haven't swung yet, we've just kind of traded. But then I can replay with all that extra mana and maybe even get a bigger surge of units onto the board than I could have, if I even used ramp cards, right? This is, I think, one of the most interesting cards that exists yet, and I think there's going to absolutely be aggro Druid decks that exist. I mean, since when have aggro Druid decks not existed, am I right? Especially in the last year. I really think that Floop's Glorious Goop is a pretty sensational aggro staple card. Now, do I think that this could ever be used outside of aggro, yeah, if you're in a really draw-heavy token druid, I can absolutely imagine existing token druids being willing to, you know, cut a Power of the Wild, something like that, run Floop's Glorious Goop to be able to play a bunch of small tokens, cast spells to clear, and then rebuild the board. I guess it... oh, by the way, see, this is something that I misunderstood on the reveal stream. Avatarnator says, max you get is 6 extra mana because of board space and the cost of the Gloop. No, this is whenever a minion dies this turn. So if I have 4 minions and you have 4 minions and then all of them die, that's 8 mana gained. So you can actually gain all the way up to 10 mana, right? When I read this, I thought it was just my creatures as well, 100%. It's the first way I read it. But this is any creature. Any creature, yeah. So you could, like, you know, actually, if I have 7 creatures on the board and you have 7 creatures on the board, you actually can make use of 14 mana, right? You cast the things, start trading, you've regained 7 mana crystals, you spend those, lose another 7, spend those. Really sick. I think this is I think, far and away the most interesting Druid card. Far and away. I mean, the Floop Man, Damp Petal Man, I mean, this is amazing, but I don't think it's as interesting as this. This is going to create some really nutty things. Nutty things. I actually wonder if there's some sort of infinite combo. Actually, I genuinely wonder if there's a way to just go insane with this one. Ooh. Do we keep those mana crystals after the turn? No, it's mana crystals this turn only. Which is kind of confusing language, but it's the same as Innervate. Secret plan, discover a secret. Here it is. I don't know. I don't know what I think about secret plan. I don't like anything that discovers a secret. I really don't. I'm really not a fan. I actually don't like secrets. I think, is this card good? This card is... Where does it exist that's good? Okay. I think Secret Plan is only very circumstantially good. Only very circumstantially good. Broadly speaking, is bad. Here's the reason why. How do hunters work? Is there such a thing as a control hunter? Expansion after expansion after expansion, we have learned that there is no such fucking thing as a control hunter. Ghosts are not real. Santa Claus died a long time ago. Control hunter isn't real, okay? It is totally a fictitious thing. You could read about it in maybe fan fiction or something like that. I encourage you to read Hearthstone fan fiction. It's of the highest tier of literature that our humanity has churned out in the last few years. But let's think about the way that hunters typically function. Typically, hunters are looking for aggro decks, trying to beat down the face. There's things like the Egg Hunter that has some big surges of tempo early on. Secret Plan slows a lot of that down. The way that I think Secret Plan is actually going to be useful is in something like a Spell Hunter, or in a Control Hunter, which is a bad archetype. It's really awful. Yeah, see, Jimmy Talent says, I play Control Hunter. Well, of course Jimmy Talent does. Jimmy, his name has talent in his name. So Jimmy Talent, I mean, yeah, no, you can run it because you're a talented person. But plebeians like myself, every time we run a Secret Hunter, we just keep hero powering, and at some point in the game, we're like, I think I should stop trying to keep my health total high. I think I should smork. Secret Plan slows you down on turn 1. Gives you a secret, which generally can be very valuable for reinforcing aggro decks, but aggro decks need very specific cards to sort of accentuate, and they kind of want a board, they kind of want momentum getting kicked off. So I think Secret Plan is a big old pile of suck, except maybe in Secret Hunter, because Emerald Spellstone is the most broken spellstone in the entire game. But yeah, I think that in some control circumstance, because I mean, the thing is, a lot of times you want secrets because they combo with Eaglehorn Bow, they combo with the Spellstone. but you need the right secrets. Like Wandering Monster's really nice, but sometimes you just don't want explosive traps against control. Sometimes you just don't want freezing traps. This can be nice. This can be nice. Bomb Toss. Deal 2 damage. Summon an O2 Goblin Bomb. I think that Mech Hunter is going to be amazing because Blizzard is clearly pushing it in our face. Every time Blizzard's pushing something in your face, flip a coin. And if it's heads, then yes, it's going to be in the meta. And if it's tails, you're going to forget that it was ever pushed in your face in the first place. So Treants, I think, are not going to work. But Mech, I have a lot of faith and confidence in Mech. I really do. They have the magnetic keyword. There's a lot of tools. I think there's a lot of opportunities to play with different cards. The Treant cards, there's just so few of them. It's such a narrow archetype. Or there's such a narrow pool of cards to support the archetype. But deal 2 damage, I think, is a increasingly valuable stat line. This is increasingly, woo, this is increasingly nice. Venom Iser, magnetic poisonous. M19 has a Death Touch Basilisk. It's like really good. I think this. I think it's okay. I think it's okay. There's a couple reasons why I like Venom Iser. There is a card. There is a mech that deals 1 damage randomly. So if you poisonous that, you can pick things off. So here's magnetic. Magnetic is you can play it by itself, which is a 2-mana 2/2 with poisonous, or you can magnetize it to an existing mech. Essentially, taking everything you see on this vanilla mech and applying it to the other mech. So let's take, for instance, this Spider Bomb. Actually, it doesn't matter, man. I don't even need to do this. So imagine we have a 0/2 mech. If we magnetized the Venom Iser on it, it would now be a 2/4 mech with poisonous. I think Venom Iser's okay. I don't see. I think this sucks. Yeah. Yeah, no, this actually I think sucks. I think this is bad. Now, some of you are like, what about Arena? What about Arena? You think it's good in Arena? I don't know, no stinking Arena, man. I don't play Constructed in Hearthstone. The reason I think that this is bad is I can envision this in a control situation being reasonable. If I have a mech that's dealing 1 damage to a lot of things, I can magnetize Venom Iser onto that deal 1 damage to everything, and now all of a sudden I'm just sweeping the board. I'm sweeping the board. I'm sweeping the board, right? It's a nice swing card. Is it going to be good in aggro? No, it's a 2/2 for 2 stat line. There's plenty of better options in Hunter. Plenty of better removal options in Hunter. So why wouldn't we say it's good in Control Hunter? Because, like, for that combo that I just said to work, you need to be able to draw because it's like a multi-card combo. Hunter does not have good card draw. I think Venom Iser is never going to get run, ever. Cybertek Ship. Give your minions Death Rattle. Add a random mech to your hand. I think this is very good. I think Cybertek Ship is very, very good. The reason I think that it's very, very good is that very clearly there are an extraordinary amount of Hunter mech cards. There's a lot of Hunter mech synergy. We have seen in the past Mech Mage use almost no mage cards, just a whole bunch of neutral mechs because synergy among them is really nice. So Hunter generally has bad card draw into the deck. Well, if we're doing a mech-based Hunter, I'm going to have mechs in my deck and cards that support mechs, and this lets me draw a bunch of mechs? Yeah. It's 2 mana? Yeah. Wow. Oh my god, wow. I really think that this is going to be Hunter AF. It's also cheaper than Infest, which is a really slow card. Beasts are pretty expensive. I think that there's a lot of mechs that are a little cheaper. I think this is very good. I don't think it'll get run more than like a 1-of in a lot of situations, but I think that this is a very acceptable statement that this is going to be a very strong card. Fireworks Tech. Give a friendly mech +1/+1. If it has Death Rattle, trigger it. I don't remember who has Death Rattle, but this seems excellent. This seems excellent. Mech decks typically just are like Murloc decks, right? Not scary turn 1. Getting scarier turn 2. Holy shit, turn 3, I'm freaking out. Turn 4, this is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. Okay, turn 5, I've started to calm myself down. Okay, turn 6, we're okay, right? Like a lot of tribal decks just basically like spike up to max power around turn 5, 6, 7, something like this. And then peter out and lose after that. So Fireworks Tech being able to, first of all, requires a friendly mech to exist. I think this is absolutely going to be the case a lot of the time, because this is how mech decks work. They want to just get presence on the board right away. Are there any 1-mana mechs? That's going to be our question. If there's not a lot of 1-mana mechs, then this card could actually just be not that strong. But if it has a Death Rattle, trigger it. Again, same thing I was talking about with Murlocs. Murlocs gets like kind of scary, very scary, hugely scary. The more Murlocs that are out there, the worse my life is. Yeah, like if you're getting extra value, you're just continuing to pump the damage up. So I'm really into that. Spider Bomb. Magnetic, destroy a random enemy minion. Is this good? Wow. Destroy a random enemy minion. So it has the same cost as Deadly Shot. Same cost as Deadly Shot. Same Death Rattle as Deadly Shot. The Destroy is worse than Deadly Shot for sure, because Deadly Shot, you kill it now. And generally you need that capability with Deadly Shot. This, you have to play it and then you have to think about it. This seems okay. This seems okay. I mean, if it was Battlecry, destroy a random enemy minion, yeah, it's just literally better than Deadly Shot. But I actually think this Death Rattle is substantially worse. And it's magnetic. I think it's bad. I think it's bad. I think this is terrible. I think this is terrible. Yeah, no, I think this card sucks. I think Spider Bomb's really, really awful card. Just a real. I think this is maybe one of the worst cards Blizzard's ever printed. Is Feign Death still in rotation? Feign Death. Feign Death. Hearthstone. Because Feign Death would be really good. Feign Death is just trigger all your Death Rattles. No. No, it's not. Okay. Obviously Playdead is, because of the Egg Hunter. Okay, here's why I'm thinking about this so much. All of my Jesus, this one hurts my head. This is a hard ass card to analyze. I need to break character for a moment to just be like, Jesus, this is a hard card to analyze. I love being hyperbolic in these card reviews, because really for me the fun of card reviews is just looking at the cards and thinking about them. I don't really care much to be right or wrong, because my assumption is that I'm completely wrong about at least 90% of them, because no one's gotten to play the set yet. But here's why I find this card difficult to analyze. Cards' impact is much more clear and much more sharp when it does something this turn, when it does something now. You know, Flame Strike very obviously does it now. Boom, you just get it, right? Or even Biology Project, you play it and you gain 2 mana, right? It's just the effect happens. It's happened. Done. Whoa, shit. Similarly, cards, if we take one step away from instant one-dimensional effect to something like requires synergy effect, such as Soul the Forest. Give a bunch of things Death Rattle, summon a 2/2 Treant. That Druid card is hard to get to work. If you have a board, it's good. If you don't have a board, it's appallingly bad. And that's why it winds up in these very marginal situations where, for instance, in Token Druid, it is an essential, central piece of that deck. Because there's synergy. Okay, so let's step one more down. Right? So there's does something now. And then a little bit harder to remove, or a little bit harder to analyze, is does something conditionally. And then, like, on the far end of the extreme is does something unreliably. Or unpredictably. When does this Death Rattle trigger? That alarm was meant for Saturday. This card, it has an unreliable, unpredictable moment at which the Death Rattle triggers. This is some of the difficulty of analyzing a lot of Death Rattle-y things. Destroy a random enemy minion is a profoundly good effect. Random? Ooh, now if he has some dudes out, we could be good, could be bad. Ooh, it's a Death Rattle, so we don't know when it triggers. And it doesn't have Rush? Really hard to grok. Right? Really hard to... And something like Dr. Boom just has a shitload of stats, right? It's just so many stats. This does not have a lot of stats for 3. 3 mana, 3/4 vanilla is like the baseline. So I really don't know. Now, you could make this more reliable if you magnetized it to a rush or charge minion, but now we're spending 2 cards to get an effect that was unpredictable to be only as predictable as, or still less predictable than Deadly Shot. Because if I magnetize this, let's say to a 1/1 with charge or a 1/1 with rush, what if he has a 2/3? I still have no ability to trigger this Death Rattle, and I don't really know. If I have an existing creature that's just a 1/1 or a 1/3 on the board or a 2/2, like hell, if I have a 2/2 on the board and I magnetize a Spider Bomb to it, I now have a 4/4 with Magnetic blow up a Death Rattle. So now it's still not triggering. It's so hard to analyze because you have no clear statement of when this Death Rattle is ever going to trigger. So Crooked Teeth says, if the opponent has 2 minions, it can be more reliable. But again, if something that I have no guarantee of how consistently it will happen can happen, then there is a possibility that I can have some more predictability to it. Everything in that statement, I feel like, really represents how unpredictable this kind of thing is. So I really don't know. And again, I'm not saying that it is for all time unpredictable. I'm saying that until I get my hands on it and get a better sense of how it will function, historically, these types of Death Rattle cards are very, 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 very difficult to understand how they're going to function in the meta. This card is already good in Egg Hunter. Is it? Is it? I don't actually think it would be that good in Egg Hunter. Unless, like, I mean, you can't magnetize it to the egg. Yeah, nope, this card is shit, and I'm sticking to it. Boom, moving on to the next one. Goblin Prank. Give a friendly minion +3/+3 and rush. It dies at the end of the turn. Oh, you know, I find this to be fascinating. I find really fascinating. This to be really fascinating because if you compare it to similar cards, this is a Hunter's version of Frostbolt, right? 2 mana, deal 3 damage, but it's minion focused, and this is very, very, very on flavor for a Hunter card. This is a nice card in Egg Hunter. This is a nice card with a number of Death Rattles. This card has, like, I'll compare Goblin Prank to Spider Bomb. This has an extraordinarily higher clarity as to its function. Goblin Prank, you could cast on a minion, and it will guaranteed be able to kill something up to 4 or 5 damage. Or or excuse me, 4 or 5 health. Dies at the end of the turn. Oh, obviously if it has Death Rattle, there's good targets. So literally, this says if you play a deck with a lot of Death Rattle creatures, Goblin Prank is going to be a very efficient card to run in there. Especially if you have Death Rattles that you actually are trying to proc. It reminds me a good bit of Power Overwhelming, which is nice. It's just a nice little buff card. I think more reasonably statted than Power Overwhelming. Because this just requires a Death Rattle and a minion, which I think is great. I think this is going to be a really nice card. I think this is just going to be a really, really, really nice card. Yeah. I think it's just a nice card. I like this card significantly better than I like this weird. I'm still convinced that Spider Bomb's not going to be that great. Exenic knows it. Exenic says Power Overwhelming was better because with Power Overwhelming the minion died horribly. Necro Mechanic. Oh, your Death Rattles trigger twice. Phosmonaut says Firebat thinks Spider Bomb is broken. God, I hope I'm right. I want to defeat Firebat along one axis. He's better at Hearthstone. He's a better deck builder. He's more handsome. He's more articulate. What is this? Death Rattles trigger twice. Necro Rivendare. I mean, I think this is going to be situational, but I mean, I think it's going to be excellent. I think this is an excellent card. This is a thick Baron. This is a thick Baron Riverdare. Boris says, do we know yet how Necro Mechanic stacks? Yeah, this just says your Death Rattles trigger twice, and so if that is applied to twice to a creature, it's just the same effect. So in essence, your Death Rattles trigger twice. You have that sentence there 2 times, and they both do the same thing. If it was your Death Rattles trigger an additional time, then they would stack. But no, super no. It's Baron Rivendare. Warble says, holy shit, this is just the Baron. I didn't realize it's been so long. Yeah. Boom Master Flark. Or should we say Blizzard's second attempt to think about how Dr. Boom works. You know what? It was a little strong. Let's restrict it to Hunter. Let's make sure that the bombs can't blow themselves up. And let's go ahead and make Dr. Boom a 5/5. That seems pretty good. Boom Master Flark. Terrible. No good, very bad card. What do Goblin Bombs do? They are 0/2s that say Death Rattle, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. Enemy hero, not enemy creatures, enemy hero. I think Boom Master Flark is awful. I think this card is so bad that when I invariably try to build a deck around it, I should just feel ashamed of myself. Just really deep in my body. Really hate on me. This guy isn't a mech. Yeah, this is a garbage card. Flark's Boom Zuka. Summon 3 minions from your deck. They attack enemy minions, then die. Sensational. Sensational. Amazing. So good. I am positive this card is unbelievable. Ooh. Is it good? Yeah. Let me explain. Okay. Excuse me. Already there has existed the Ooze Hunter, which is the 6 mana 5/4 Death Rattle. Get Death Rattle of something else. As well as the Silver Vanguard, the 7 mana 3/3 Death Rattle, summon an 8 mana minion. There's puppies. Those kinds of decks, we even ran one, and we're climbing pretty hard with it. those kind of decks are very strong because, again, they get big spikes of power out. Flux Boom Zuka is another enabler. Helps make those more consistent, right? We can get some things like Katharina, Silver Vanguards out. We even have the Large Beast Master. I don't remember what it's called. It's a 6/7 that says Death Rattle, summon a friendly minion that died. So you put in some good Death Rattlers into your deck and some good Resummoners. I really think Flux Boom Zuka is going to be sensational. At the very least, I mean, this is removal, too. This is like a removal card. Abominable Bowman, that's right. If you have some good Death Rattles, I think Flux Boom Zuka is going to be spectacular. Spectacular. I think it's great. I think it's a great card. It's a swing card. Do removal, trigger Death Rattles. It's great. Shooting Star. Deal 1 damage to a minion and the minions next to it. I mean, this is Arcane Explosion. Arcane Explosion. Arcane Explosion. Arcane Explosion. It's Arcane Explosion. Arcane Explosion doesn't tickle my pickle very much. I think this one won't. This is more like a Fluking Star, I think should be the name of this card. This is not a good card. This is what are they doing? What are they doing to me, huh? Why? What is this for? Why run this ever? It's 1 mana. It's just an Arcane Explosion. When do we want to run Arcane Explosion? When there is a lot of 1/1s coming out there. And so you know what I'd rather run in that circumstance? Arcane Explosion. Not Shooting Star. Not Shooting Star. Not doing it. God. Can't believe they printed this card. What is it? Look, you know, it says Shooting Star, and here we have like a pillar at a train station who's angry. Like, nothing makes sense about this card. Nothing at all. Cosmic Anomaly. Spell damage +2. Ooh. Oh, one of the very first decks I made in Hearthstone was a spell damage mage. Ooh. Oh my god. Yeah. Spell damage +2. Yes. Okay. But you can play Cosmic Anomaly and you can do a Shooting Star for 3. Or I could run Arcane Explosion and it comes with the classic set. I think you know, there has historically been the existence of a loud cat. Despy, what do you think about +2 spell damage? Hey, I asked you a question. Despy. Alright, my cat does not wish to participate, but she does wish to interrupt. Already, the Evolved Kobold, 2/2 spell damage +2, was used in a number of decks and is nice. I absolutely am of the belief that Cosmic Anomaly could be an excellent card to deal extra burn damage. I mean, already there's burn decks. There's the burn secret decks that are running Arcane Missiles, that are running the Mega Missiles, the 3 mana, deal 5 damage Cinderstorm. Yeah, I think Cosmic Anomaly could be very nice, but not nearly as nice as this guy, Celestial Emissary. Your next spell. Oh, I thought it was a 3/2, not a 2/1. Oh, if it was a 3/2, this card I think would be broken as hell. Your next spell has spell damage +2. What do I think about this? I actually think Celestial Emissary will be run more in like control decks. She doesn't want to participate. She wants to interrupt. There you go. He's a good cat. Celestial Emissary, I think this is okay. I think that it's going to be good in some weird decks like this one, Unexpected Results. Summon 2 random 2-cost minions improved by spell damage. I actually think that there's going to be some sort of weird spell damage mid-range or spell damage aggro deck. I think this could be tight. This is the way that we connect. Alright, I'm going to start doing these in order. Okay, this card I am stupidly excited for. So excited for a research project. Each player draws 2 cards. Here's why. If you are a grinder mage, okay? Grinder is an extreme form of control mage. Control typically is hold on. Okay, now I'm powerful. Ooh. Grinder is like hold on. Or at fatigue, I win by 5 health. There's a lot of grinder mage decks that involve just slight gains in value over a really long period of time. The ultimate example is, of course, Frostlich Jaina. Frostlich Jaina. Frostlich Jaina is just so good the longer the game goes on. The problem with doing something like a Frostlich Jaina deck is that sometimes you actually need certain combo cards, some very specific pieces in order to get that value. For example, if I know that I can wait a turn safely because then I can Frost Nova Doomsayer, great, that's a way that I get value. If I know I can wait a turn and get a really good Meteor down to be able to 2-for-1 or 3-for-1 an enemy, okay, cool, that's where we get the value. But if you're really low on cards, if you have like 3 cards in your hand and he has a significant creature and you have a Meteor, okay, well, maybe it's like a middle-sized creature. You don't really want to Meteor him right now, but maybe you do. This is how you get into this kind of trap with these slow, grindy mage decks where you really want to draw more cards. But if you're trying to draw a lot of cards with Arcane Intellect and Acolytes of Pain, invariably you're going to have 4 cards in your deck. Your opponent's going to have 10 cards in his deck. And you're just kind of screwed on the card front because you dug too deep into your deck. Yes, you were able to get good, card-for-card trades with your opponent, but now you're sort of out. With Research Project, this allows me to draw but not to go into fatigue too early. I think that this is going to be a really nice card for these kinds of grinder decks. I am extremely excited to run a control-ish, I'm going to call it a big mage. Probably not going to use Raven Familiars because obviously we're going to have 2-cost spells in it, this sort of thing. But I also believe that this can work kind of nicely to set up Ruby Spellstones. I think this is not going to be worth it in aggro decks. Alaneth is still obviously better. Celestial Emissary we talked a little bit. I'm not actually as excited about Celestial Emissary as I am about Cosmic Anomaly. Because Cosmic Anomaly actually lets me maybe cast 2 spells to get +4 damage total. This is okay. This is okay. Meteorologist. For each card in your hand, deal 1 damage to a random enemy. So Meteorologist is kind of like, I have 7 cards, I play this, and it's going to cast 6 total damage. Obviously, this is better in Control. Would I really want it in Control? No. No, there's a lot of sweepers that exist. Blizzard, Flame Strike, Meteor. Having a Meteorologist? I think there's one circumstance where I can imagine Meteorologist being good, which is like there are some slow, grindy elemental mages that will wind up with a whole lot of cards in hand that they can't really do that much with. And this is a creature. So Meteorologist could be okay. Or does random enemy mean it can go to face as well? Yes, yes, this can go to face. This can be face damage. But, a 3/3 body for 6 is not that great, compared to Blaze Caller, which Battlecry, deal 5, and I'm a 6/6. Woo-hoo! It deals all the damage to 1 enemy, says Elite Veyron. I don't think so. I mean, that's not how the text reads. Because for each card in your hand to deal 1 damage to a random enemy. So it sounds like if you have 6 cards, for each card, 6 times I'm going to deal 1 damage to a random enemy. I'm like 99% certain it's just, arcane missiles. So I don't know, this doesn't excite me. This doesn't really hype me up. Would this effect be by spell damage? Nope, this is just damage. Spell damage has to be a card that actually says like spell, or is a spell. Astral Rift. Add 2 random minions to your hand. Why? I don't think this is good. And the reason that I'm going to say I don't think this is good is for the fundamental statement, if I'm putting this card in a deck, I'm having to cut 2 other cards. Like, imagine if you made a tempo mage, right? You got some burn spells, you got some counter spells, some secrets, some stuff like that. What do you cut to put this in there? I don't know. I think Astral Rift, thus far, is the worst card that we have seen in this entire card review. The Astral Rift, more like astral trash. Am I right, friends? Yes, I am. Thanks, Day9. Astral Rift is awful. Holy good lord. What? I mean, this could give you wisps. These could give you legendaries. The casinos are open. Yes, we could absolutely RNG our way into something good, which means I will have to run this at some point, but I'm not going to do it with pride. I'm going to do it with the satisfaction in the knowledge that I'm luckier than everyone else. I do have that sweet Cawthon luck. Unexpected results, summon 2 random. Yeah, I think that there's probably going to be some spell damage tempo mage that emerges from this, because this is extreme value. 4 mana for 2 4/4s. Ooh! Ooh! Whoa, went too far. Astral Mansur. Summon a random minion with cost equal to your hand size. Ooh. I think this card is good, but I don't think it is as good as other people have been claiming. I do not think it is as good as other people have been claiming. I think this has very particular uses. So, like, here's an example of a deck I think it sucks in. A Grinder Jaina Mage. It sucks in this. Because a lot of grindery decks don't really have a lot of huge sort of threats because they're having meteors and blizzards and flame strikes. Do I cut a flame strike and put it in Astromancer? Do I cut one of my expensive cards and put it in Astromancer? I mean, yeah, I'm probably going to get a 5/5 and maybe a 7/7 or something like that. You know, it could be kind of nice, but I don't actually think it's that amazing. Where I think that this card is amazing is if, like, I'm an elemental mage and I already wind up with a large hand and I slam down an Astromancer because I already have some board presence and this is just a way to close the deal out. Now we're talking. Now, oh, that's good. Or if I'm a big mage, or not a big mage, a control mage that's also trying to run like Mountain Giants and Twilight Drakes. I'm already trying to be functioning a little bit more like a handlock. Yeah, sick. But I don't think Astromancer is a traditional control mage card. I don't see it. I really don't see it. I think that it's because in Hearthstone there are there's different types of decks that run large hand sizes. Like, I think Handlock is the most comparable example to where I think this would be good. Handlock is not exactly like a control deck. Like, old Handlock was, you know, Molten Giant, Mountain Giant, Taunt, like Twilight Drake, play creatures, really like board-based, get in your face kind of things. That's where I think that the Astromancer is going to shine. Stargazer Luna. After you play the rightmost card in your hand, draw a card. Bad? Terrible? Maybe the worst? Not as bad as the other one. Awful? I think this is awful. If you play the rightmost card in your hand, draw a card. Are there any good Echo cards? No? Seems terrible. It seems absolutely appallingly terrible. Like, okay, so here's the reason I think this is terrible, okay? When on earth, like, what situation do you use this on? Like, in what deck? Like, okay, intuitively, I generally want a lot of mana so I can play... Okay, let me back up. If I play Stargazer Luna and pass the turn, Stargazer Luna is going to get killed. Straight up. So if I play Stargazer Luna, typically I will want some damage. Or typically I will want some mana. I'll typically want a player, like when I have 10 mana, so I have 7 left over to like cast that rightmost spell. Okay, so when I'm at 10 mana, do I just want to throw her out and randomly cast my right card to be able to draw? Why would I want to draw cards? Because I'm trying to get to my combo. For just general card advantage? Would I play it in tempo? A 3-mana 2/4 sucks in a tempo or an aggro. I mean, really, I think that this card, at best, Stargazer Luna is going to be a 3-mana 2/4 where you're going to draw 1 card. God, it seems horrific. Yeah, I think Stargazer Luna is really, really bad. Rightmost card means that there's a large amount of unpredictability in there. Yeah, this might be the worst card that's ever been printed. Luna's Pocket Galaxy. Change the cost of minions in your deck to 1. Amazing in Elemental Mage. Amazing Elemental Mage. Oh yeah, see, Rev2 says refill from aggro, but like, what, on turn 7 you're going to play that out with 2, you're going to play her, you have 4 mana left over, you cast 1 spell, you draw a card, alright, your turn's done. Luna's Pocket Galaxy. Okay, now here's the thing that is problematic about Luna's Pocket Galaxy. Wildly unpredictable. Wildly, insanely unpredictable. It's another way to pull off an Exodia combo, which is nice. But, like, I think Elemental Mage is where this is going to be good. Elemental Mage, I think that this could be, like, maybe just a blowout card. Because, note that when you cast Luna's Pocket Galaxy, nothing happens this turn. You abandon any ability to do anything this turn. And then, when do you get the value? Over a long period of time. What is a deck that is comfortable giving up 1 turn of board control, is very minion heavy, and would get value over time? Elemental Mage. I think this is strictly an Elemental Mage. Strictly Elemental Mage. Auto Defense Matrix. Secret. When one of your minions is attacked, give it Divine Shield. I think history has taught us that Paladin secrets are not good unless you're doing it in a way that's cheating. Who am I? None of your business. Yeah. I think Auto Defense Matrix is, well, it's a Paladin secret, which means that it's already starting off in a poor evaluatory state for me. Auto Defense Matrix, when one of your minions is attacked, give it Divine Shield. This seems, in a lot of circumstances, strictly better than a Get Down! Because Get Down negates the damage against the target creature. Auto Defense Matrix negates the damage against the target creature. Auto Defense Matrix is probably going to be on a creature with more than 2 damage. Get Down is exactly 2 damage. The benefit from Noble Sacrifice is that it does block your face. The benefit of Noble Sacrifice can proc on other effects like Knife Juggler. But it's a Paladin secret, so I think that for that reason, I'm out. Absolutely no to this one. Glowtron, 1/3 magnetic. I haven't seen this card before. When did I miss this card? When did I miss this card? Oh my god, Glowtron. This card is insane. This is so strong. What? This card is so strong. Let me lay it on the line. First of all, if this is a turn 1 play, why is it good on turn 1? It's a 1/3 mech, aka it's hard to kill, and it's a good stat line against aggro. It's just gonna stay alive if you play this on turn 1, meaning you can then play a magnetic card on it on turn 2, 3, 4. You have a clear target for your magnetism, right? What if we're in mid-game or late game? 1/3, if I cast Glowtron onto a friendly mech, this can often be a really nice way to just get a 1-for-1 trade. Right, I have like, a 4/3, you have, a 4/4 out, I could trade, but I'm going to play the Glowtron to give my dude enough attack and health to kill your thing and still keep a sturdier stat line along, right? So, I can see it there, but I think one of the big reasons why this is really nice is that if I'm late and I don't have a board, I can play the Glowtron and then magnetize something onto it very easily because of the 1 mana card cost. God, Glowtron is really, 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 really nice. It even makes me want to do some sort of like odd mech paladin. Mechano Egg, Death Rattle, summon an 8/8 Robosaur. God, that's a good card. Jesus. God. It's a mech, so there's lots of ways to activate this. Wow. Yeah, this looks really good. I'm increasingly frightened by eggs. Just because there's a lot of enablers and a magnetic keyword for mechs. I mean, holy shit. Yeah, that's great. Void Ripper has been making a grand appearance a lot. I think Mechano Egg is an ample target. The fact that it's a Death Rattle makes something huge and scary and a real shitter for you. Like, you put a taunt magnetic on this Mechano Egg and just start jamming in the face, like, I gotta clear this and then clear an 8/8? Ugh, gross. I think that there is a big benefit specifically when you are a sort of swarmy fill up the board type deck, which is you want sweeper insurance. A Nerubian Egg used to be good sweeper insurance in Zoo. I can imagine Mechano Egg being a good sweeper insurance in Paladin. Oh yeah, you want to quality consecrate me, you want to twisting nether me? Great, I got an 8/8. Feeling great. Who do we appreciate? Myself. Robosaur. Yeah, look at these. He just has these random syringes sticking out of him. Awesome, man. Bump shoulders with him. Receive an injection. America. Anoia Module. I just adore this card. Magnetic Divine Shield Taunt. Oh my goodness. I adore this card so very much. The Anoia Tron, the 1/2 Taunt Divine Shield for 2 was good. I think this is strictly worse than that. For sure. Strictly worse than that. Luke's is the 2/2 that had Death Rattle 8. Didn't see play from Knights of the Frozen Throne. Well, that's because that card said only if it's your opponent's turn. This just always summons that thing. Yeah, I think Anoia Module is... I think this card amuses me so much. It tickles me a lot. But, I don't think it's that great, right? We got a little guy with a water gun just trying to be annoying. A lot of people don't like clowns. Things like that really please me. But a 2/4 taunt is not great. This could be spectacular as a magnetic cast. I really think this could be good as a magnetic cast. Let me just say one thing that I think is going to be really critical in this upcoming expansion. Single target removal, I think, is going to be much more important as time goes, or when we step into this expansion. Right now, it's a lot about multiple targets on the board. Even shamans summoning a lot of small dudes and then slamming, sea giants down. Flood paladins summoning a lot of little dudes. Token druids summoning a lot of little dudes. Hell, even that even paladin buff deck that I hit legend with summons a lot of dudes. You go wide a lot. If you look back to like right at the original, like right at release in Hearthstone and like the year or so afterwards, there was often a lot of I play one threat. You deal with one threat. Here's another thing. Okay, I deal with that one thing. Here's another thing. Okay, I deal with that one thing. There was a lot of the single target removal type stuff. And given that there's going to be a lot of focus on magnetizing targets and like applying buffs to a dude, making a dude very strong, I think single target removal is actually going to be more significant in the future. But I think Anoia Module is probably a very mediocre card. Probably very mediocre. Crystology. Draw 2 1-attack minions from your deck. Oh, I misread this card initially. This is 2 1-attack minions. This is not 2 1-mana cards. This is 2 1-attack minions from your deck. Oh, dang, man. Oh, hey, man. There's a number of... Is this good? We can get Meat Wagons and Tar Creepers. Meat Wagon is a pretty important card in this set because Meat Wagon is the 1/4. When this dies, peel a card from your deck with attack less than this minion. But Meat Wagon is a mech, so you can get it all buffed up. Okay, I think Crystology is at best bad, and at worst, you're going to forget that this was a card. I bet you there will be one weird meme deck that uses it to peel a critical 1 mana or 1 attack combo piece. I mean, Linessa's 1 attack. You know, stuff like that. I mean, is it, who gets excited for 1 attack cards? Who does that? Aggro decks? Who wants to play this as an aggro deck when you could run Divine Favor? You know, that sort of thing. Shrink Ray. Set the attack and health of all minions to 1. Welcome back, Control Paladin. Welcome back. Oh, yes. Oh my god, I love equality. I love it. Oh my god, look at Neutering Stick. We got the Shrink Ray here. Whoo! Shrink Ray. I've wanted to be running a Control Paladin lately. Maybe I'll run this in an odd Control Paladin. Yes, yes. I think Shrink Ray is very expensive. It's extraordinarily expensive. It's only good in defensive contexts because, you know, I'm not going to be setting all my attack and health to 1. But the fact is, there's a lot of times when you need an equality. I think that Shrink Ray could be very good against, like, as a 1-of in a control deck. I think it would be very good as a 1-of in a control deck. Just another way to set everything's health to 1. I think just one. Seems like a 1-of that's a nice, consistent card. Prismatic Lens, the most interesting card in existence. It's the Prismatic Lens. Draw a minion and a spell from your deck. Swap their costs. Whoo. Okay, here's the thing. Prismatic Lens. Here is how I think you shouldn't think about this card. And listen to me, because in this card review, I've only been correct thus far. I mean, I'm 10 out of 10 for my calls. It's been amazing how true my mouth has been. I think the wrong way to think about this is as a combo piece, necessarily. Like, oh, I know, I'll run Dino Sizes and cheap creatures, and then I'll be able to draw a cheap creature in the Dino Size. It'll swap their costs, and then I have a cheapo Dino Size to close it out, right? Things like that make you want to have Prismatic Lens as like a build around. As like a build around card. And I think that that may exist, like only expensive Paladin cards that are buffs and only cheap creatures. Spike Ridged Steed, Dino Size, Avenging Wrath, these types of cards. The only ones you're running in your deck, everything else is cheap creatures. But I think that more likely, this is just going to be draw, and then the swapping is going to be just value. I think it's going to be just value. Like, I would love to be a control-ish slow Paladin, play Prismatic Lens, maybe draw a Tyrion and a cheap spell, and now I get a cheap Tyrion, and that's just great, right? That's fine. In control Paladin decks, you often don't need to be super thoughtful about being ultra efficient with your mana on all turns. Like, a lot of control Paladin is deal with your bullshit, summon a 1/1. Deal with your bullshit, summon a 1/1. So, for instance, if I did a swap and wound up with, like, an 8 mana equality, if I play Wild Pyromancer and then the 8 mana equality, cool, I cleared your board. I didn't get to summon a 1/1. That's alright. Yeah, I think that Prismatic Lens is just going to be a nice value card. I would be very surprised if this was ever able to be used as a build around. This would shock me. This would shock me. Because you would need really expensive spells and really cheap creatures, or really cheap spells and really expensive creatures. But I think that the fact that it's a draw that can switch things up a bit, yeah, I think this is going to be a fine card in a control Paladin. I think it's going to be a fine card. I basically think of it as slightly more expensive Arcane Intellect. And for what it's worth, Branching Paths, which is like a more expensive Arcane Intellect that does a little more, sees a ton of play, right? I think Prismatic Lens is going to be fine. It's going to be fine. Glowstone Technician, Battlecry, give all minions in your hand +2/+2. Whoa. Whoa. He's like expensive, consistent Grime Street. And how good was Grime Street Protector? It was unplayable! Oh, Glowstone Technician, I'm so sorry, but you will never see the light of day. Get out of my deck. Crystal Smith Kangor. Divine Shield, Lifesteal, your healing is doubled. It really hurts me that there's not a comma here. It says Divine Shield, Lifesteal, your healing is doubled. It just hurts me. It hurts me. I don't know why. Divine Shield, Lifesteal, your healing is doubled. Doesn't do much for me. I can completely imagine this being used in a Control Paladin. I can imagine that. I don't know if Control Paladin's gonna be very good. Could be okay. But this would be kind of a nice card to have. It's not Mech, which is shocking to me, but you know that's the way it is. I do have a buff Paladin. He's pretty sick. I like him quite a bit. He's nice. He's kind of a friend of mine. Maybe there's going to be an even control buff Paladin, and this would be important in that. God, the more I talk about Crystal Smith Kangor, the more I think it's bad. It's good circumstantially when you have buffs. When are you going to want buffs? In a deck that has a lot of them. I don't know. It doesn't excite me. It doesn't thrill me. Kangor's Endless Army. Resurrect 3 friendly mechs. They keep any magnetic upgrades. Okay, guys, I found the deck. Here it is. It's Kangor's Endless Army. This is the deck. It's going to be a good one. Wow. Holy goodness. Wow. Whoa, dude. What a blowout. This seems insane in the membrane. Oh my god. I think that this... Wow. Holy crap. Where are the other mechs in this deck? Okay, wait. So, as we investigate, there's only these two... Oh, I guess there's 3 mechs. There's Glowatron, there's Mechana Egg, there's Anoia Module. Yeah, dude. Kangor's Endless Army is gonna be nice. Now hear me out. You could run Kangor's Endless Army, a bunch of mechs, and Prismatic Lens. Notice how nice it is that Prismatic Lens draws a minion and a spell. Again, you could think of it as bad Arcane Intellect, but I think this is kind of like good Arcane Intellect. If you only are running 2 Prismatic Lenses and Kangor's Endless Army, and then a bunch of mechs, you can always draw Kangor's. Are the eggs mech? Oh yeah, the eggs are mech, man. Look at this Mechano Egg. I think there's a real possibility that Kangor's Endless Army with Prismatic Lens is a successful build around. Alright, let's go on to the Priesto. 3 classes down, and I've only been correct so far. It's just an amazing feeling to have nailed this card review so much. Topsy-turvy, swap a minion's attack and health. Why? I hate playing against Divine Shield Inner Fire decks. Ooh, look, we have another Inner Fire. Ooh! Ooh, here we go. We're gonna swappy-doppy-doo. I'm so upset that this exists. Oh my god. Oh. It's like it's a 0 mana Inner Fire. Okay? 0 mana Inner Fire. You don't even need Radiant Elementals anymore. Is this... Well, I mean, it's only good if Inner Fire decks are good. I don't know, man. It can be used in weird aggro situations, like kill a Doomsayer, kill a target thing, but I'm annoyed because I'll lose to it. But the more I think about it, the more I just think that this is bad. It is just not that great of a card. It's probably going to be like a run of 1 of in an Inner Fire deck for a little bit more consistency, but it only targets one thing, so it's meh. Cloning Device. Discover a copy of a minion in your opponent's deck. Slow, mediocre, not amazing. Oh my god. Razan J says Geist hard counters inner fire decks. This gives Priest to survive Geist trick. Yeah, I think it'll be run as a one of. Yeah, I think that this is going to be in inner fire Divine Spirit decks, but I mean outside of that, I just don't think it's very good. I think it kind of sucks. It's like a really technical card. Cloning Device. Discover a copy of a minion in your deck. Earn your opponent's deck. Yeah, not great, not good. Random. It's like a bad Draconid Operative. Draconid Operative was nice because a 5/6 for 5 is such a stupidly good stat line. So stupidly good. We removed the stat line, removed all this stuff. It's slow. No, not good. Very bad card. Very, very bad. Dead Ringer. Death Rattle. Draw a Death Rattle minion from your deck. Good card. Very good card. Very, very, very good card. Very good card. Extremely good card. Ridiculously, stupidly good card. Wow. Holy cow. This card is amazing. It will fit into Amara Priests, which kind of exist. But it's a... Loot Hoarders are already run in Amara Priest. Loot Hoarders are already run in some Priest decks. But this particular card, Dead Ringer, very specifically peels Death Rattle minions out. I mean, this is such a power card for Amara decks. I mean, this is ridiculously good. Yeah, this is... I don't think it's ever going to just blow your mind. Oh, it's so crazy, the power of the Dead Ringer. But I mean, it's such an enabler. This is just a consistent, solid little card. He's nice. Test Subject. Oh my god, this card is amazing to me. Return any spells you cast on this minion to your hand. Okay. This is like I get to be Divine Spirit Inner Fire all over again. I think more sincerely, though, I think Test Subject does suck. I think it does suck a whole lot. Because you are compelled to put a bunch of dudes on it. You're compelled to put a bunch of buffs on this dude. And then it's going to get silenced? Yeah, and then you, like, lose all of them? Like, if you think about the way that a lot of Priest buffs work, Priest buffs, I mean, Divine Spirit Inner Fire, clearly, is about suddenly slamming down a bunch of buffs. Oh my god, whoopsie doopsie, I won. Test Subject, it kind of goes against the grain of that timing. Kind of goes against that timing. I mean... Yeah, so let me reiterate that. Normally with Divine Spirit Inner Fire, you're trying to just get a thing to stick and then double it up, Inner Fire it, and kill you in one turn. If you cast the Divine Spirits too early, it's very easy to just remove that creature or, you know, to silence it, that sort of thing. With Test Subject, I feel like it wants you to hurry up and play the buffs on it, which again makes it very targetable for silence. Very, very targetable for silence. Now, I can imagine if you went Test Subject and then cloned it with, let me scroll down here to Power Word Replicate, choose a friendly minion, summon a 5/5 copy of it. I can imagine, okay, now I'm a little bit more resilient to silence, but I feel like you're going through a lot of hoops to just justify being able to cast buffs early on creatures, when really I think Priests just don't want to do that. Really, I think Priests just don't want to do that. I think that, like, if you're a Priest, like, if you look at Divine Spirit Inner Fire decks right now, they're successful. Test Subject and all the things that will support Test Subject just to make sure that you can get those buffs back to your hand. Why do that when you can just Divine Spirit Inner Fire? You know, this card's bad. No one's going to run this card. I've convinced me. I have talked myself into the conclusion. This card is not going to see play. This is bad. Extra arms. Give me +2/+2. Add more arms to your hand that gives +2/+2. Arena card. Meh. Omega Medic. If you have 10 mana crystals, restore 10 health to your hero. Ooh. Ooh. Greater Healing Potion was run. I think Omega Medic is a good card. I think this is actually a good card. I think this is actually a very good card. Yeah, I think like I have long wanted some better healing tools in Priest after I Shadow Form. Omega Medic does fit in nice. It's also a 3/4 for 3, which is a very good stat line against aggro. I think the problem I have with this is that I don't see what deck wants this other than a Shadow Form Priest. Has an absolutely stellar stat line for 3. Big upside. Well, I'm going to build a Shadow Form Priest with this, and this is going to be important in that card. Important in that deck. Power Word Replicate. Choose friendly minions when a 5/5 copy of it. No. 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 I refuse to believe that there will ever be a good beatdown priest. I'm telling you, I just refuse to believe it. Yeah, there was a mech priest a little while ago. Still refuse to believe it ever existed. I'm just going to close my eyes, plug my ears, and say, no, 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 that's not true. Super no. Why would I want... What is a good 5/5 for 5, huh? What is a good 5/5 for 5? 1, a combo piece. But shit, I'm paying 5 to get it? Ugh. Just give me a Vivid Nightmare. Just give me some sort of Eternal Servitude to find the card I want. Power Word Replicate? It doesn't seem to do anything that is equivalently better that Faceless Manipulator wouldn't already do. And yeah, you could play it, like the only circumstance where I think that this is good is like test subject only. There is the times when I can kind of see this working is like if you are a big priest and you manage to get like Yasharaj to stick and you resummon a copy of it, but like, I don't know. I think this card's terrible. Reckless Experimenter, Death Rattle minions you play cost 3 less but die at the end of the turn. Whoa! This one is weird. A Reckless Experimenter, what? 5 mana, 4/6. Very good stat line. Cubes would cost 2. Play some eggs. This feels like strictly useful for cubes. Because, I mean, here's the thing. Like, Priest... if you are wanting to get a whole bunch of cheap creatures out that die, you want them to have good death rattles. But for what reason would that ever exist? Are you an aggro deck that wants your creatures to die? That sounds weird. Are you a control deck that wants the things to die? That sounds weird. It really seems to only be like a cube enabler. That's it. It's a cube enabler, man. But, you know, the other problem that I have here is that, like... Here's a weird question. If you play a cube and you cube the Reckless Experimenter, I assume the cube still has the tag, but die at the end of the turn, yeah? Yeah, I just don't think this will see play. I can't actually see the combo. Because things that if you play this for 5, like I can imagine things like, okay, if you play this for 5, pass the turn, Reckless Experimenter lives, and then I can have 10 full mana. I can play a 6 mana Obsidian Statue, a 2 mana cube. Hey! It's insane in Quest Priest. Why? Why is it insane in Quest Priest? Like, okay, here's the thing. Let's say we have 10 mana. We play it for 5. We have 5 mana left over. What am I going to do? Play like an egg for free. Cube the egg. Then that way I get a 5/5 and 2/0/3s at the end of the turn. I mean, doesn't that just sound stupid? This Dark Thrash says you can play a bunch of dudes to hit the quest quickly, then you can resurrect them all easy. Why? Quest priests already can survive to get Amara out. It doesn't need a hurry up, right? This just seems this seems nonsensically bad. This is not even going to see play. Zarek, Master Cloner, Death Rattle. If you cast any spells on this minion, resummon it. Weird. If you cast any spells on this minion, resummon it. So this is like a conditional Cairn Bloodhoof. Seems really weak. Technically, we could cast extra spells on this. Let's ignore silence for a moment. Let me ignore silence for a moment. I actually think Zarek sucks too. I think that all these priest cards are pretty damn bad. Like Power Word Shield is a commonly run buff. Divine Spirit, I guess. But you don't want to cast Divine Spirit for the creature to die. Right? Like, that's a stupid use of Divine Spirit. You don't want to cast Inner Fire on it, pay 1 mana to guarantee that this thing works. Really, it just seems like the arms and the elixirs. And I don't have any confidence in arms and the elixirs. Cloning is very good. Can't really do that reliably. This is 6 mana. The clone is a 5 mana thing. Yes, this is bad. This Zarek is a very weak card. Zarek's Cloning Gallery. Summon a 1/1 copy of each minion in your deck. You know, I also think this is bad. Oh my goodness, Priest! Holy cow. Priest has a whole bunch of cards that aren't going to do nothing, man. Put them in the blender. Make a smoothie out of it. Drink it. It tastes bad. It's unhealthy for you. Summon a 1/1 copy of each minion in your deck. When would you use this? When would you ever use this? I feel like you can only have it be a general value card, right? In a Death Rattle Priests. Because, like, okay, think about a combo deck that's trying to get a very specific card out. I don't even know why I have headphones. I mean, there's no music here. Think about a generic combo priest, like, you know, that gets out a whole bunch of Valens and tries to shoot you in the face, right? You want to draw the Valens so you can play it, have it die very precisely, and then resummon it. What if you already have Malagos and Valen in your hand? Or what if you just have Valen in your hand? Like, when is this? Here's where I think that Zarek's Cloning Gallery can make sense, is if you have a Death Rattle heavy priest that's just looking to grind with value. Right? Death Rattle heavy priest that's just designed to try to get a bunch of value out. Because I can imagine that. I can imagine slamming Zarek's Cloning Gallery. I just get a bunch of 1/1 loot hoarders that let me draw. I got some 1/1 obsidian statues out there that have some nice death rattles to them. Maybe I have some other rando stuff that's in this expansion with death rattle. Get some eggs or some shit. I don't know. This seems very mediocre. God, are all these priest cards really bad? I really think that they're terrible. I mean, this, again, I think is like a one of in a Divine Spirit Inner Fire deck. Draconid Operative without the body, which was a really big thing. Dead Ringer. Oh yeah, this card's solid. Never mind, this card's solid. Test Subject. I don't really see the deck in which it lives. Obviously, you can create value plays out of it, but in decks, the decks that have the value plays don't really have business existing. Extra arms, I'm not a big fan of like buffs that aren't like really well statted. Omega Medic, good card in my Shadowform Priest that I'm going to be building. Powered Replicate, who do you want to replicate? It's a 5/5 for 5 a lot of the times. Reckless Experimenter doesn't make sense to me. I think it's only a cube. Only a cube, I think makes sense. But I can't even see the cube combo. Not going to be wanting to run a lot of buffs on a creature to allow it to die, to re-get a 5/5 back, because it's just not that great of a reward. I mean, Karen is way better. Karen, you throw out a 4/5, you get another 4/5. He just is very sticky all on his own. I don't really see when this works. Whatever. Okay, best card in the entire expansion. Absolute #1 all-star. Oh my god, this card is insane. 3 2s for 2? Yeah. Yeah. Oh my god. Lab Recruiter, 3/2 for 2? Yes, yes, yes. YES. Yes, yes, yes. Lab Recruiter. Shuffling 3 copies of friendly minion into your deck. Literally. We literally just use this only on Falderay Striders and that's fine. Lab Recruiter. Look at this. Look at this insane-o dudo. Bingo was his name-o. I mean, really, you can just throw down more and more and more Vile Spines, more Vile Spines, more Vile Spines, man. Just keep refilling. Ooh. Ooh. What other creatures would we target it on? There's not actually a lot of targets for Lab Recruiter that are amazing. Like, if you were to Lab Recruiter onto, say, an SI7 agent, it's fine. Really, I think it's all about the Falderay Striders and the... Where is it? Pogo Hoppers! Gain +2/+2 for each other Pogo Hopper. You played this game. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. Yeah, I think that the Pogo Hopper could ostensibly be pretty tight. Seems like a reasonable value card. You only have to run 2 of these and 2 of these guys. I think this is still an absolute all-star sensational card. A sensational card. It also has the added benefit of, in some sort of weird, I'm a rogue that goes to fatigue, I can Lab Recruiter my Lab Recruiter to infinitely have cards in the deck. I think that this is I think this has not been stated enough, but this is an extraordinary enabler for Kingsbane rogues. Kingsbane, biggest problem, you don't quite have a lot of ways to make that Kingsbane all that huge. But now you have a Lab Recruiter, so you can just get extra Captain Greenskins, extra whatever the 2/4s are that give your weapon +1. I think the Lab Recruiter is a real all-star. Real best card by far, absolutely no doubt. Violet Haze, add 2 random Death Rattle cards to your hand. Nope. Super nope. Not a chance. 3 mana for inconsistent, mediocre cards. Oh, this is an enabler for Onyx Spellstone. Oh, it enables Onyx Spellstone. Ah. Garbage. Never gonna get run. See you later, Violet Haze. Oh, see me in arena. Oh. Crazed Chemist. Combo. Give a friendly minion +4 attack. Alright, Odd Rogue. Okay. Alright, Odd Rogues that are currently trying to run a whole bunch of Scalebanes. Crazed Chemist, I think, is good. I think that this... That's a lot of attack, man. It's kind of a lot of attack. Oh, wait, it's combo. Give a friendly minion +4 attack. Oh, wait, never mind. It's combo. Never mind. Not going to be run. Bring on the Scalebanes. I'm sorry, this says combo. It doesn't say Battle Cry. It says combo. So huge. Such a huge, just absolute kneecapper, that one right there, man. Nope. Crazed Chemist probably not going to get run. Blight Nozzle Crawler. That does sound like one of those Scottish insults I don't actually understand. I was a total Blight Nozzle. Yeah, Death Rattle, summon a 1/1 ooze with Poisonous and Rush. Weirdly conditional weirdly conditional, okay? Like, a 2/4 body for 4 that will summon a 1/1 poisonous rush guy. I want to note that the 5 mana Assassinate, which is just destroy a minion, is not run. It is not run. This looks like a harder to execute Assassinate with the upside of a 2/4 for 4 mana that will possibly get to use that 1/1 poisonous ooze to assassinate. I don't think it's good. I don't actually think that the Blight Nozzle Crawler is any good at all. Primarily because think about existing rogues and their tools, dude. File Spine Slayers, Sap SI7 Agent, huge, strong presences on the board, eliminating everything you have. Yeah, I know what I want to do. I want to cut SI7 Agents and run the Blight Nozzle Crawlers. No. No, 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 dude. SI7 Agents, Valderay Striders, Elven Minstrels, and Gadgets and Auctioneers, Edwin Van Cleef, these are such insanely strong cards. Vile Spine Slayer, woo! Blight Nozzle is a total Blight Nozzle. You know what I'm saying? The art is good. You're totally right, Svertinger. Yep, it's pretty good art. Radioactive Ooze, he's like, no one's ever going to play me. Pogo Hopper, we discussed a little bit. I think Pogo Hopper is going to be pretty solid. I don't think it's going to just blow anyone's mind. But Jade Rogues were a pretty reasonable archetype. We have some very clear enablers for the Pogo Hopper. Pogo Hopper is only going to be significant as the game goes on longer and longer and longer. They do grow stupid fast. You just have to be very, very, very careful. Because, I mean, first time you play it, you got a 1/1. Next time you play it, you got a 3/3. Now we got to draw deep in the deck. So I think it's going to be okay. I don't think it's going to be insane. I really don't. Necreum Blade, Death Rattle. Trigger the Death Rattle of a friendly minion. This card is excellent. The reason I say that this card is excellent is that we already see 3 mana 3/2s run in a variety of different circumstances. This has a substantial upside and a very controllable upside. Shadowblade, but Shadowblade was bad. Shadowblade was actually okay. It was actually okay. I mean, you're immune for a turn. But I mean, like Death Rattle, trigger the Death Rattle of a friendly minion. I think this is a solid card. I think it depends on what the Death Rattle things are that cost 4. We can use the Blight Nozzle. I think that Necreum Blade might not even get run though, because I mean, just the existing Miracle, such a good deck. Are there any Death Rattles? I can't think of a single Death Rattle that's nice in a rogue. Cube Rogue? I kid you not, I actually think Cube Rogue could very, very, very become a thing. I mean, carnivorous cubes generally just need a little bit of enablingness to become ridiculous. A little bit of enablingness. Yeah, I think that there might be a cube rogue out there, but I'm not going to think about it too long. Academic Espionage, shuffle 10 cards from your opponent's class into your deck. They cost 1. I think that this card is so weak. It is so weak. Oh my gosh. You know what? I want to waste my entire card draw to have something random exist in my hand. I think this is so weak. I cannot stress enough how much it sucks to draw a card from your deck that you didn't deliberately put there. Most of Hearthstone is what's your deck. Most of your Hearthstone is what's your deck, right? Figuring out the correct deck construction. So if I draw something that's useless and it costs 1, that means I have a whole bunch of mana left over and I can't do anything. What, am I going to burn the cards in my hands? That way I can draw another random 1 mana card? I think this is a trap card. I think this is absolutely trap. What about with a Gadgets and Auctioneer? Okay, what do I think about that? There's a lot of spells in classes. So inconsistent. So unbelievably inconsistent. This could be acceptable in only ultra fringe circumstances, like I'm trying to mill you and I'm going to cast Academic Espionage, or I have some deck where I blow my entire deck up immediately because I have my combo pieces and then I run an Academic Espionage to not die. But I think that this will not get run in any reasonable deck. This is a fringe deck. Necro Vial. Trigger a friendly minion's death rattle twice. Ooh! Oh my god, it's 5 mana, and a cube is 5 mana! Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the Death Rattle Rogue staple, a Necro Vial to trigger it twice. We have a Necro Blade to trigger it once. We have Carnivorous Cubes to get that value going! Necro Vial, yes. Hell yeah, there it is, Necro Vial. Wait a minute, is it a spell? Do I run Preparation? You bet that I do. Couldn't decide between what body part I wanted you to bet, but that noise still captured it all. Necro Vial with Preparation? Oh yes. Myra Rot Spring. Oh, Lady Rot. Discover a Death Rattle minion, also gain its Death Rattle. Oh, you're a 4/2? Oh, isn't that sad? Oh, that's kind of sad. Actually, Myra Rot Spring just kind of has a... Ooh, I have a whole big game Hunter's worth of stat lines. Wow, I really can't wait for this to just be a 4/2 loot hoarder for 5. Not great. Not great. I like the predictability of the cubes. I like the predictability of the cubes. I mean, there could be some arguable value. You know, if you're running a really Death Rattle heavy deck where you don't have a lot of card draw, you can kind of get another card out of this. Whatever. Draw the rest of your deck. Oh my god. Wow. So, I think that one of the strongest aspects of any well-built deck is understanding how to get a consistent draw. So, if you can get something like, you know, 2 Lab Recruiters and a Pogo Hopper, you draw your entire deck and you just guarantee that you're only drawing Pogo Hoppers from then on out. Does it have any other uses? This is good if you get some Falderay Striders in there. Oh my god, can you imagine putting Falderay Striders in your deck? Oh my god, okay. You run out Falderay Striders, you shuffle a bunch of 4/4s into your deck, you play Loatheb, and then you jam out Myra's Unstable Current to fill up your board. So I think Myra's Unstable Element could be the kind of card where if you're like a Kingsbane rogue, you already have lifesteal on your Kingsbane, and you have a couple of Kingsbane buffs, you just draw your entire deck, shuffle only valuable things into it, and you're good. Ooh, this is going to be cool. This is going to be cool. Odd Rogue would also run this. Odd Rogue, this is a good Odd Rogue card. Beakered Lightning, deal 1 damage to all minions, overload 2. What? I've never seen this. That art is beautiful. But is it good? I don't know. This, I mean, like, in a vacuum, this is a little stinker. But let's keep going. Elementary reaction. Draw a card. Copy it if you played an elemental last turn. Okay. This is a weird build around. This does not actually seem like that difficult of a restriction. Like, if you run Fireflies, Tar Creepers, this is a really easy thing to proc. Yeah, and I've run Elemental Shamans. This actually, yeah, I think this is an excellent card. I think this is excellent. This is an excellent, 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 excellent card. Wow, yeah, this is really, really great. Already, you've seen me in the past run Elemental Shamans, and they almost get there. They can, like, almost really punish. But I think that this is a really nice way to just keep filling up the hand. The biggest struggle I had with Elemental decks is that I would kind of just run out of hand a little bit, and then I would feel obligated to run things like Mana Tide Totems that kind of needed to draw, and I was kind of like, that's nice. Menacing Nimbus, add a random elemental to your hand. This is gonna get run. This is such a powerful elemental card. This is good in even decks. This is good in other little aggro decks as well. This is just a solid card. Doesn't excite me at all. I'm so disappointed that this card exists. A 2/2 for 2 that does something random, but it's very powerful. It's a battle cry too. Jesus, it's not even a death rattle. Wow. Voltaic Burst. Summon 2 1/1 sparks with Rush. Overload 1. Oh my god, by the way, I have seen some of the Shaman cards. I have seen some of them. Oh my god, this is going to be a game breaker. I believe Sparks are elementals too, but look at Storm Chaser. Draw a Bloodlust from your deck because it costs 5 or more. A 4 mana, 3/4, okay. 6 mana, Eureka, summon a copy of random in for your hand. It does count. I'm gonna move past this. Moving past this. Yeah, look at this Thunderhead. After you play a card with Overload, summon 2 1/1 Sparks with Rush. Moving past this. Oh yeah, we went straight into the Warlocks. Yeah, no, I mean, I'm gonna be real with y'all. Truth be told, Element for Reaction, super strong. Menacing Nimbus, super strong. Beakered Lightning, I don't see it. It seems like such a mediocre effect. Bleh. But I mean, the Voltaic Burst plus the Storm Chaser. I mean, there's a lot of ways to build up a huge aggro shaman board. Guarantee a burst down with Bloodlust. I mean, this is huge. This is huge. Okay, Eureka. All right, we're going back to in order. Eureka, summon a copy of a random minion from your hand. Malaghost that costs 6. Okay. Can I kill you there? No, it doesn't seem like there's anything good with Malaghost. Is there any other insane... Well, I mean, maybe just a big control shaman. Run 2 Eurekas, run a Ysera, run a Lich King. Just start Eurekaing out some big dudes. You know, Eureka out a big dude. You still have 4 mana left over. You clear the board. Yeah, I mean, thing is, it's summon, it's not play, so the battle cry doesn't trigger. Yeah, I think that there potentially could be like a Eureka deck that just runs a small number of big minions to where having additional copies of those very specific big minions is good. I don't see a single combo, so we're going to move past it. Boom, done. Look at that. Yeah. Omega Mind, Battle Cry. If you have 10 mana crystals, your spells have lifesteal this turn. Actually pretty relevant. Actually pretty relevant. Wow. That is cool. So this is kind of like a juicy Halazeal. I mean, you can play it down early against aggro. I actually think this is amazing. I hate running Healing Rain. I really don't like running healing, feeling like I always have to run Healing Rain. I think that Control Shaman is looking like it has some very viable tools. I just hope that I can get my Storm Hammer. What's that hammer I always wanted to run? Charged Hammer? Is Charged Hammer out of rotation? Anyone know? I really like that against aggro. You just play this out before turn 10. You got a thing. Oh, man. It's TGT. Damn it. Oh, well, whatever. Yeah, I don't think Control Shaman seems hard. Thunderhead, after you play a card with Overload, summon 2/1/1 Sparks with Rush. Dude, there is so going to be an aggro Shaman. Thunderhead is begging you to be aggro. It's begging you. Electra Storm Surge Battlecry. Your next spell this turn casts twice. Is there anything I want to cast twice? Double Bloodlust? You kind of want to have one with Bloodlust already. Healing Rain seems a little useless. Volcano. This seems kind of like an emergency card. Yeah, maybe there's some sort of face shaman that has like a few burn spells and you can go Electro Storm Surge, Lava Burst. I don't know if you're ever going to be able to get to turn 8 that effectively. Maybe you will. You know, I think Electro Storm Surge seems mediocre at best. It seems like a 29th card or a 30th card in a deck that you're like, well, it adds a little bit of value. There you go. This is not a build around. This is just not a build around. The thing is that, like, I feel like if you think in a vacuum, you can lie to yourself, right? You can be like, on turn 8, I can give everything +6 attack. What's everything? What aggro shaman has a really nice looking board that then needs +6 on each thing that didn't previously, on turn 7, just want to win with a Bloodlust, right? What did he have set up that you couldn't win with a Bloodlust the previous turn? You know what I mean? Like, Bloodlust is something that does not seem particularly good. But again, it feels kind of like a 30th card. You know? Like, well, I got my aggro deck done. I got a lot of burn spells. Well, you know, maybe if I just threw out an Electro Storm Surge, I could hit him for 10. You know, it's like Electro Storm Surge kind of feels like a third Lava Burst. The other situations in control decks, Electro Storm Surge might feel kind of like an emergency card. Like, oh my god, I feel really screwed because this Taunt Druid just summoned so many huge dudes. I'm going to have to play this 3/3 and then just double Volcano. I feel like the way to think about Electro Storm Surge... How do I keep setting my alarm for the wrong day? I meant to set... That alarm that just went off is for next Thursday. Whoo! Boy, my bad. Yeah, dude, Sapphire Spellstone? But I mean, like, what about it? Am I just gonna, like... You know... Yeah, I mean, I can get a total of, like, 6 giants... but I don't have enough mana to get 6 giants with Ancestral on it. I mean, like, again, like, there exists combos with this, but this seems like okay. This seems okay. I think Electro Storm Surge is only okay. It's, like, pseudo-flexible. Double Ancestral, then Spellstone? It's a lot of mana you got there, man. It's 12 mana. I think Electro Storm Surge is okay. I can't imagine a single insane nutso outcome that's gonna come from this. It's flexible, but I think it's okay. Stormbringer, transform your minions into random legendary minions. Boo! 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 Here's a card. Here's a card. Here's a card that could work in this sort of swarmy aggro deck. Like a swarmy aggro shaman. It runs 2 bloodlusts. It runs the Stormbringer. Maybe I can't exactly fill the board and kill you with a bloodlust. Ah, damn, what do I do to transform into legendary minions? Spirit Bomb. Deal 4 damage to a minion and to your hero. Excellent. Excellent. We're on to Warlock. This Spirit Bomb card is a sensation. 2 mana, deal 4 damage and screw my health? What? Oh my god. Yeah. I mean, this is an excellent zoo card. Electra plus this. This is a Warlock card. We just switched to Warlock. God, that's like a really cool card art. Oh, it is just 4 damage to a minion. It's not like you can deal damage to the face. It seems okay. I mean, it's just a solid-ass card. There's, I think, like, you know, for instance, if you think about Frostbolt, Frostbolt is a 2 mana, deal 3 damage, and freeze a dude. That's one of the best cards that has ever been printed, although it never has a spectacular effect. Right? It's never like the, oh my god, he did the craziest combo with Frostbolt. This is what Spirit Bomb is, just like a Frostbolt, right? It's just like a, I'm gonna kill you and charge up my spellstones. I mean, I think spellstones, the Amethyst spellstones, are now just very clearly a staple in anything but aggro Warlock. Or say any Warlock but aggro Warlock. Demonic Project. Each player transforms a random minion in their hand to a demon. Yes! Spectacular card. Absolute 10 out of 10. Welcome to the modern combo breaker. This is Dirty Rat level 2. Oh no, you have a Malagos Druid. However, will I stop it? I'll turn your Malagos into a demon, right? You get 1 right before you think they're going to throw out their Shutterwalk combo. You just slam down a Demonic Project. You'll never know if you necessarily hit it, but this is now the way to break combos. Useless against most aggro, though. I wouldn't say useless, but I mean, it's not spectacular. You know, it's kind of like Dirty Rat is pretty good against some aggro, you know. It shows you what got changed. Wait, Ezra Godbear, do you mean that it shows what the minion was? Or do you just mean that it has a card labeled that says this one is a demon now? Because even better if it says, ooh, it was a Shutterwalk. Shows you what was changed. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I love this card. This is probably going to be like a one-of run. Like, obviously, we have to be concerned about what gets transformed in our hand. Doubling Imp, summon a copy of this minion. It's Calithethable. It's okay as getting two 2/2s, but I mean, it's the same thing as that Treant card. It's fine. Soul Infusion. Give the leftmost minion in your hand +2/+2. Yeah, Soul Infusion, Calitheth, and Doubling Imp could be pretty cool. I think this is an interesting card. I think this is actually a really, really interesting card. It's pretty gosh darn solid in Zoo. It's going to be pretty exceptional with Calitheth. Soul Infusion, really interesting card, right? There's a couple of cloners in that in Zoo already. You know, there is the Serenite Chain Gang. There's the Imp that we just looked at. Give the leftmost minion +2/+2. Yeah, tight, great. Am I out of coffee? Am I out of water? We're out of fluids. Void Analyst. Give all demons in your hand +1/+1. Huh. And it's a death rattle. Here's one of the things interesting about a Void Analyst. It seems like a nice way to do a Zoo that's not so Keleseth reliant. I think there's increasingly reasonable 2-mana cards for a Warlock to run. So Void Analyst could just say, you know, we're going to get Keleseth out, we're going to run Void Analysts, We're also going to be running Spirit Bombs for a little bit more power. I actually feel like there's going to be a Zoo deck that runs a whole lot of old Zoo cards that we've kind of forgotten about, or old Zoo candidates that we have potentially forgotten about. So give all demons in your hand, +1/+1. I actually think there could be some actual curve out demon-y type thing, because if you're Void Analysting buffing up, and then you play like that 5/4 demon that gives all your existing demons +1/+1, I think that there's actually going to be a tribal demon deck that has the sort of power that we've seen out of Murlocs and Mechs. I think there's some possibility. I think there's some possibility here. Yeah, because I mean, if you can Void Analyst to buff up a Doubling Imp, seems pretty good. Nether Soul Buster, gain 1 attack for each damage your hero has taken this turn. And it's a demon. Yes. Individually, not exciting. In a tribal deck that also has some flame imps that have, like, I mean, dude, if you just type in demon, there's a crap load of things that you could wind up getting excited about, right? You type in demon, you can start Spirit Bombing to get, you know, +4 damage. Play a Nether Soul Buster after this. Nether Soul Buster is a 5 mana card. It's a 5 mana card. This is absolutely not a 3 mana card in the slightest. But it's a demon. Yeah. Like, this feels like a slightly worse Councilman. Omega Agent. If you have 10 mana crystals, summon 2 copies of this minion. I actually think Omega Agent could be kind of cool. I think Omega Agent could be kind of cool, just as I run this Omega Agent in my Control Warlock. A lot of Control Warlocks are looking for, you know, Control Warlock. Let me point out the way that Control Warrior used to work. Control Warrior used to be about removing threats with weapons, shield slams, executes, occasionally removing threats with a brawl or something like that. And then it would just have a handful of nice threats. You'd have a couple Shield Maidens, and then maybe Ragnaros, and then maybe Alexstrasza. Omega Agent, I feel like, could function like that in a control-ish Warlock that maybe just has some Void Lords for value, Blood Reaver Gul'dan for value, runs Omega Agents for value, just kind of keeps getting some big, juicy threats on the board, because 3, 4, 5s for 5 mana is acceptable, is absolutely acceptable. It's not a demon, so I don't really see it in the demon deck. Ectomancy. Summon copies of all demons you control. Huh. Okay, so the immediate thing that comes to mind that I think is not true, right? If you think about, I'm going to run a mid-range demon deck, right? We're going to summon a 2/2, and then we're going to buff it. We're going to get some Blood Imps out, and then turn 4, we're going to give everyone +1/+1, and then I'm going to slam down one of my huge 1/5 Nether Soul Busters that has extra health now, and then on turn 6, I'm going to get copies of them all. Whoa! I think Ectomancy will... If you're running it in that sort of deck, you're running a huge risk of having a dead card, right? Where you just have like a 3/5 demon and you don't want to cast Ectomancy to summon another 3/5 demon. I do think that this screams Skull of the Man'ari. Control Demon Lock. I think Ectomancy could be a extremely potent card in that kind of deck. Like, think about the way that Rinlock used to work. The way that Rinlock used to work was 2 Void Lords and Rin, and then you would play N'Zoth to resurrect the 2 Void Lords, and then you would play Blood Reaver Gul'dan to get 4 Void Lords back. Or in the reverse order, you play the Blood Reaver Gul'dan to resurrect the 2 Void Lords, and you get 4 Void Lords back. And it was that 4 Void Lord combo at the end that was just tough. It was just really tough to deal with. If I can Ectomancy to get out some extra Void Lords, this is going to make my Blood Reaver resurrection all the more threatening. 6 mana for an additional Void Lord is very powerful. And it provides the sort of slowing down, the type of body that would make you want to run a Rin again. I think this is going to be a very nice card in a sort of control-ish Warlock. You could Blood Reaver Gul'dan, trade away the 1/3s, and then play Ectomancy and resummon some more Void Lords. I think Ectomancy is going to be pretty nice. Solarium. Draw 3 cards at the end of your turn, discard them. Spectacular Zoo card. Oh my god! Whoa! Holy frickin' moly! What the cannoli? Wow, Solarium. Wait a minute, is that a stupid thing to say? Did I say something stupid? Hi, Sheriff. I said hi to Sheriff. That's not stupid. I love that girl. Hi. Hello, kitty. Alright, what am I talking about? Solarium, where they're currently in a vortex of space sharks. Is it really that good? Like, okay, when I first glance at this, I go, oh, it's amazing, oh, right? But like, imagine for a moment we're at turn 3 or 4, and we're a Warlock. We're like a Zoolock, right? If we're at turn 3 or 4 and we don't have a good play, if Solarium was like a 3 mana or 4 mana, okay, how do I explain what I'm thinking? What makes Zoo decks... I think I disagree with myself. I thought this is strictly better tracking, but you gotta be really careful about this comparison because tracking is in Hunter, which functions completely differently from Warlock. They have different hero powers and all that shit. I mean, tracking can get you Savannah High Mains, and Solarium can never get you Savannah High Mains. I think it's an apples to orange comparison. Okay, here's what I'm thinking for just Zoo. For Zoo, a lot of the strength of Zoo is being able to curve out and to play creatures on board. And... no. This argument doesn't work, does it? I'm going to just finish what my thought was. Again, I initially looked at the Solarium, I lost my mind. And then I tried to think for a moment, and I was like, okay, wait. If you try to play Zoo, you kind of want to play out on curve. And you know, it kind of hurts when you have to life tap in some of those early turns because you don't actually have a good draw. And, you know, if you're using Solarium to draw out some cards... you're replacing Solarium, or you're replacing a useful Zoo card with Solarium. Does that sufficiently hurt you at that early stage in the game? Like, I'm thinking that Zoos already have a lot of card draw with the hero power and just beat people to death. I mean, honestly, this kind of seems just like... good. Yeah, I think the Solarium's just good. I think this is just great. Yeah, it seems fine. Because, like, if on turn 2, the only play I have is Solarium, and then play a 1-drop, I still think that's worth it. I still think that's worth it. Turn 1, this card is insane. Haha, Duskfallen. Nah, ha 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 ha. Disco Lock is back. I mean, I'm certainly going to try it. My intuition is that stinks. Yeah, I think Solarium is insane in Zoo. Would it be good in Control? Nope, wouldn't be, because there's too many ways to completely shoot yourself in the foot with this. Yeah, this is an aggro deck card, and I think it's very, very good. Dr. Morgan, Death Rattle, swap this with a minion from your deck. No. No, 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 no. No, no, no. No. No, I think no thanks. The reason I say no thanks is that it's a 5/5, dude. I mean, arguably, you can peel certain huge, nice things from your deck and get those out there. Yeah, no, this is really bad. This is some profound awfulness. What, like, there's already ways to get Ren out, such as playing her. There's already ways to get Void Lords out, such as playing Vit. Right, like, getting it swapped out is not, woo, yeah, woo. It also prevents me from running small creatures that I might also want to run. With Faceless Manipulator, you can have infinite 5/5s, maybe. It keeps coming back, though. I mean, not really. Like, you're swapping out a creature in the deck, and then you spend another 8 to swap them out. Yeah, no, it seems like not nice. I mean, like, I'm spending a whole card slot and 8 mana to play just a 5/5, hoping that it will peel something good out, so I better not put other small good creatures in there. A whole damn card slot, man. This seems really bad. Yeah, I mean, Skull of the Minari is an amazing card because it comes down at the start of my turn, and now I have a bunch of mana with which to do stuff on it. It's very predictable. It's very understandable. Dr. Morgan is just expensive AF and killable and prevents me from putting other bad cards or cheap cards in my deck. Like, hey, what if I wanted to run an Ooze? What if I want to run a Doomsayer? Well, we got pulled out by Dr. Morrison, so it made Dr. Morrison really bad. She's great in Disco Lock, though. Yeah, I guess because you can just discard her. Eternium Rover. Whenever this minion takes damage, gain 2 armor. This card is spectacular. This card is unbelievable. If we just ignore the card text, it's a 1 mana 1/3 that's a mech. This is a spectacular card. This is amazing. It's a great target for all of our mech stuffs. This is a great, great, great target for all our mech stuffs. It's defensive. It's statted good against aggro. Its ability is good against aggro. Rocket Boots. Give a minion rush, draw a card. Weird. Alright, do we just have Warrior left? Is Warrior the last one that we have left? And yeah, we're going to finish Warrior, and then I'm going to briefly use the restroom. Or I'm going to take a break. Rocket Boots seems bad. Rocket Boots seems bad. Give a minion rush, draw a card. Nah, I don't like... I'd rather just have a minion with rush in its place. I need a minion on the board to play this. It doesn't really help our minion very much. This, I mean, like, think about it. If you played a minion on turn 2 and now it's turn 3 and you have a rocket rush, what are you going to give rush to the minion that can already attack? When would this be beneficial? I play a large dude, and on the turn that it's played, then I give it rush. Nope, hell no. Give it slam. Use slam. Slam's way better. Weapons Project. Each player equips a 2/3 weapon and gains 6 armor. Very cool anti-aggro tool. Very cool. You know, in the card reveal on Wednesday, they accidentally swapped 2 of the classes. My Warrior was supposed to play against their Hunter instead of their Warlock. So the matchups in game 2 and 4 were incorrect. And Weapons Project is really nice. Like, you play an Eaglehorn bow, boom, I slam down a Weapons Project. Shut it down. I think Weapons Project is a really cool card. Come on, Control Warrior, come on back! Could be very good also in an even Warrior. An even Recruit Warrior. That's probably why you went 0-4. It's gotta be. Also because I literally threw game 3. I literally had the win and wanted to kill him with fatigue instead of kill him by attacking his face. Omega Assembly, discover a mech. If you have 10 mana crystals, keep all 3 cards. I mean, really good. Really damn good. I can imagine a Control Warrior just with no mechs running 2 Omega Assemblies. I can completely imagine that in a really slow, grindy warrior. In just a mech deck, this could be completely acceptable before turn 10. I think that the tough thing about Omega Assembly is the fact that it's so tempting to just not play it until turn 10. That's kind of why I want it more in a control deck than in just a regular mech deck. Hey, what up? I'm drunk. Here's money, man. Happy 3 years. Hell yeah. Alright, Dynamatic. Deal 5 damage randomly split among all minions except Max. This card is so nice. I mean, it specifically targets minions. It specifically avoids mechs. What an amazing way to build up your mech board and then clear it out with a Dynamatic, right? This is an obvious, amazing card. Like, obviously really, really, really good. Security Rover, whenever this minion takes damage, summon a 2/3 mech with taunt. I'm not that excited about this card. I am not that excited about Security Rover. It's a 2/5 for 6, which then summons little 2/3s. This does not, it does not excite me. Generating 2/3 mechs with taunt is like late game, not that exciting. It feels only exciting if I already have a board and I play a Security Rover to kind of help close things out. This does not seem that great. It really doesn't. Like, if you, like, all the effects that deal 1 damage tend to be whirlwind effects. Deal 1 damage to everything. So what am I going to do? Just like whirlwind, whirlwind, whirlwind? Already the first mech that's 2/3 with taunt is now a 2/1 because it took 2 whirlwind things. I think this is just an overcosted mediocre card. It's probably okay in Arena. This is not good in Constructed. This is not at all a good card. 6 mana for a 2/5. I mean, holy cow. That is so... I mean, contrast this with just a Boulder Fist Ogre. A 6 mana 6/7. Jeez, man, come on. Does not seem good. This seems actually... This is the worst warrior card we've seen yet. We need to get some hyperbole, man. Guard bot. Good bot. Super Collider. After you attack a minion, force it to attack one of its neighbors. This might actually be like a Jin card in an odd control warrior. Odd control warrior already struggles with some key removal. I think that, like, just in a regular warrior deck, I don't even know why I would want to run it. But if we're talking an odd warrior that's gaining 4 armors with a tank up, in terms of just general flavor, 10 out of 10 flavor. Super Collider as a name, hitting someone and causing them to collide with someone else. Oh my god, that's awesome. This is interesting. It makes me ask, can I redo an odd warrior? That's one of the very first classes that I tried to do. Could be cool. Beryllium Nullifier, magnetic, can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. Absolute... Just, I'm dying to do a mech deck in Warrior because of Beryllium Nullifier. I'm dying to do this. A mech rush deck. Because if you have one sturdy mech on the board, right around the time when some sweepers, some real meat and muscle can come down to, you know, remove said threat, you just give it to Shroud, and then it can't be targeted. Did you see my brain break on Wednesday? On the reveal stream? Oh my god, because I have been playing a lot of Magic the Gathering Arena and a lot of Hearthstone. And in Hearthstone, can't be targeted by spells or hero powers means that basically the enemy hero can't do stuff to you, but if they play a battle cry, they can, right? If, like, Vile Spine Slayer, destroy target creature, that's totally fine. In Magic the Gathering, hexproof means that the enemy hero's spells can't target it, and if a creature says, you know, destroy target creature, and it tries to target it, hexproof prevents the targeting. So basically, can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. In Hearthstone, is a little softer, and in Magic, it's a little harder. And my brain just keeps getting broken between those two now that I'm playing them a lot. Like, every time I play Magic, I'm like, okay, cool. I have a creature that when it enters play, destroy target creature. Cool, I'm going to destroy that one. It's hexproof. I can't do it. And then I play Hearthstone, and then I'm like, all right, can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. It can't be silenced by anything. And then I'm like, Spellbreaker can silence it. Hurts so hard. Dr. Boom, Mad Genius. For the rest of the game, your mechs have rush. Yeah, this does feel good. This does feel really good, especially because it's Battle Cry, and you can swap out into Garrosh. That's really nice. Now, what the hell do these hero powers do? This says, activate this turn's mech suit power. Okay, summon 3 1/1 microbots. Deal 3 damage. Gain 7 armor. Deal 1 damage to all enemies. Discover a mech. Oh my god, never mind. This this guy's hero powers are insane. Oh my god. Alright, I mean, there's a lot of randomness, but those are ridiculous. The Boom Ship, summon 3 random minions from your hand, give them rush. Aha, a Mega Assembly into Boom Ship. Yes. Some sort of control mech seems absolutely possible. Because note that the Boom Ship is odd. Dr. Boom is odd. Beryllium Nullifier is odd. Super Collider is odd. Omega Assembly is odd. And Eternium Rover is odd. There's a lot of tools to do an odd control warrior. I think this card obviously is going to be effective with the Omega Assembly. What's this one tiny little thing? Oh, a Microbot. A 1/1 with mech. Alright, stay here. I'm going to use the restroom. I'm not going to take a break on the stream. I'm just going to go. Stay here. Did anyone else find the chair better at predicting Hearthstone cards than Day 9? Oh! No, you didn't. I'm the best card reviewer in the entire world. Alright, 1/1 mech for 1. No. Faithful Lumi, Battlecry, give a friendly mech 1/1. Yeah, way better than this 1 mana 1/1 mech microbot. No, hell no, absolutely not in the slightest. Faithful Lumi, give a friendly mech +1/+1. Goblin Bomb, deal 2 damage to the enemy hero. Mecharoo, Death Rattle, summon a 1/1 Joey bot. Joey bot. It was a skater bot. He said, see you later, bot. Magnetic and Rush. Okay. Alright. This, I think, is the most important bit of mech-based analysis in the entire game. Okay? Are you ready? This is the most important mech-based analysis that we're going to do. There's a lot of cool mechs that we've seen that are magnetic. Mech decks, by virtue of how the magnetic keyword works, needs lots of mechs in them. For any of you who don't know, a magnetic minion can be played by itself, just as a regular minion, or it can be cast onto another mech, combining all their abilities, right? So if I am a magnetic minion, I want to have a lot of mechs so I can target myself onto the other things. So there's just got to be a lot of mechs in the deck. Given that, if we have a deck that just has a lot of mechs, naturally this steers us more to a build the board up type of gameplay. You know, kind of like the way Murlocs work. You play a small Murloc, then a bigger one, then a bigger one, then a bigger one, right? And they just keep growing in their influence because of all the cross synergy there. So the 1-mana mechs are really important. Faithful Lumi is not a good card because it's a 1-mana mech that can't really be played on turn 1. Goblin Bomb, it's a better target. It's a better target because it has an acceptable death rattle and it's reasonable. Or I should say, yeah, it's more reasonable that it will survive. The best 1-drop mech is absolutely the Mecharoo. 1000% the Mecharoo, the best neutral 1-drop mech. Because it is a 1/1 that guarantees that you're going to have a mech out even if it dies. Even if it dies. So when I look at these, I think that this Goblin Bomb is maybe if you're really desperate to have 6 1-drop mechs, you run 2 Goblin Bombs, 2 Mecharoos, and 2 1-mana Paladin mech, or 2 1-mana Warrior mech, something like that. Faithful Lumi, I think, is really bad. This Microbot is exceptionally bad. Mecharoo is pretty... Skaterbot. Weirdly, I think that this has some potential. No, it doesn't. Why do I say stupid shit? No, it doesn't. This card's bad. No. All right, Toxicologist. Give your weapon +1 attack. Kingsbane Rogue is going to be so good in this upcoming expansion. So good. 1 mana +1/+1 and give rush sounds good though. God, does it not? Ooh, don't you dare say that to me ever again. Oh my God. Holy cow. Okay, tell me that this is a good card. I am 1 mana, give target creature +1/+1 and rush. That sounds really bad, just as a card. Just as a good old card. Sounds pretty solid. Ugh. Oof. I mean, like, for instance, I think that this card, give a minion rush, draw a card. You think that if this was reduced by 1 instead of draw a card, instead of give +1/+1, you think this would be playable? I think that is not a card. I think that sounds like a really weak buff. I think it is. I think this card is absolutely not going to see any play in the slice. It's a whole card in your hand that's being gone. Oh my God. Spend 2 cards to maybe take out some guy that is a tiny marginal benefit. Ugh. Toxicologist is going to be exceptional in the Kingsbane Rogue. God, that's just exactly what Kingsbane Rogue... Look, it's just a battle cry. It's not even like a combo or anything. Toxicologist. Thaviel says, with the resummon your mechs with their magnetic, you're going to want them to have rush. I think that's 1 card in our entire deck. Maybe if we can get 2 prismatic shards in there, maybe that could be good. Oh, whoops. It's getting hot in here. Oh. Let me tell you something. Here's the thing I don't like about this shirt. Like, I wish it was just a little more open at the top, but when I unbutton the second one, I actually feel like I look naked. Like, it's way too much, right? It's way too much. Whatever, maybe we'll leave it like this. Oh, yes, nice. Upgradable frame bot. 10 out of 10. Exceptional. So good. Fantastic. Remarkable. remarkably good because it is a sticky minion that's a mech, anti-aggro, and I mean I think that they like the naming really. God, I feel so immodest. They know exactly what the purpose of this thing is. It's a 1/5 that you cast things onto with magnetic. Bronze Gatekeeper, another really nice magnetic target. I think that this slows things down so that you still have a mech available to be able to cast upon. I think it's really great. If you're holding a spell that costs 5 or more, gain +1/+1. Weak. Not good. Not good. Woo! Let me tell you, if you were running an Electro right, you're not doing it Electro right. You know what I'm saying? If you're holding a spell that costs 5 or more, gain +1/+1. No. No. Wow, what big spell deck in any class wants a 3-mana 4/4? Whoa! Whoa, a 3-mana 4/4. Oh my god, it's so valuable. No, it's not. Electro Right is not a good card. Huh. Whew. Good thing we scroll past that. Kaboom Bot. Death Rattle, deal 4 damage to a random enemy minion. What? Same problem as the Magnetic Spider from Hunter. No. Nah. Really hard to get that 4 damage to go on the thing that you want it to. It's a weaker version of the Spider Bomb. Has all the same problems as the Spider Bomb. I don't think Spider Bomb's going to be good. Don't think it's going to be good. Spring Rocket, deal 2 damage, baby. Damn, that's actually kind of good. 2 damage is a pretty nice thing to do. But the Phoenix, the 4-mana 3/3 Phoenix that has Battlecry, deal 2. I mean, Disciple of Cthulhu was okay. And it actually did kind of a better long-term benefit. This does not feel that great. I mean, certainly it's an arena-ish card. Summon an O2 Goblin Bam. Whirliglider. I have no idea how Goblin Bombs are going to work, man. I have no idea if they're going to be any good whatsoever. Oh my god. I don't know, man. I think probably not. I think this is probably a weak card. Probably weak. Gain +1 health for each spell that's in your hand. I'm wondering if it's any good, my man. So this is like a weaker dragon. I think Brainstormer, the only deck, it's very clear it's only good in a very specific kind of deck. Spell-heavy decks, by and large, are control, with some being combo-ish, right? Pretty much what you're going to want to go for. Brainstormer is the specific, I'm going to drop this on turn 3 or 4 versus an aggro deck so I have some extra ways to punch through. It's only a defensive card. That's all it could ever really be for. I mean, the difference between the Twilight Drake and the Brainstormer, I feel like is pretty significant, because Twilight Drake is card, Brainstormer is spell. Yeah, it can't possibly be an on-curve thing. Yeah, no, I'm going to rate this as a don't play. Copper Tail Imposter Battlecry gains stealth until your next turn. What's interesting about the Copper Tail Imposter is that this is very clearly a card that can be targeted with magnetic more easily. Easy magnetism. But the reason I think that this is not that exciting is that a 4-mana 4/4 is not an amazing body to magnetize 2. I'm much more interested in the upgradable frame bots, in the, 1/5 defender mechs, those sorts of things. Explodinator Battlecry, summon 2 O2 Goblin Bombs. I wonder if there's like a discard Warlock that summons lots of Goblin Bombs and then plays Cataclysm. Explodinator. I don't have any clue how to make these Goblin Bombs do stuff, man. I have no idea. Piloted Reaper. Summon a random minion from your hand that costs 2 or less. Oh my god, it's a piloted Shredder. Except fair. Summons it from the hand now. Steel Rager. Wait, they're still doing this? Are we still doing Rager? Is this still a thing? My gosh, it's an actual better Magma Rager. Wow. Whoa, guys. Yeah, no, this is they're never good. It's not going to be good. Rusty Recycler, Taunt Lifesteal. Is a Taunt Lifesteal 2/6 any good? Kinda wanna run it in a Control Paladin. Yeah. Yeah, it actually literally is Wally. Oh, they literally just made Wally. Wow. Oh my god. Wow. No one tell Pixar, because that's Wally. That's literally... Jesus, there he is. He even's got, like, the triangular treads and everything. Oh my gosh. Is Lifesteal really that great? I guess it's halfway between Wally and Johnny 5. 2/6 for 5. Yes, doesn't excite me. Maybe with some sort of buff. I mean, there's not a lot of Lifesteal minions that exist. War Gear, 5/5 with Magnetic. Here's kind of what I'm thinking about the War Gear. Blessing of Kings is actually just a nice card. This feels kind of like running more Blessing of Kings. Maybe there's an aggro beatdown. Paladin. Oh, sorry, Sheriff. Please tell me you guys heard that, because that's the cutest thing in the entire world. This might be like the curve out for every single aggro mech deck. Might very well be. Damaged Stegatron. Taunt. Deals 6 damage to this minion. Maybe it's a Hadronox deck guy. I don't know. This is weird. Recruit Warrior. Cube decks. 5/6 for 6 is and then we're summoning this. Maybe this is good with a cube. Oh, this card is weird, man. I bet you there's going to be some cubey goodness. Because, I mean, a 5/12 taunt is stupid good. The fact that it's a mech, I don't actually know if it's valuable. Brand synergy and wild. That's right, you can play a Brand and the damaged Stegatron will kill himself all by himself. So Sleepy Dragon is a 4/12 for 9 with taunt, and that's runnable. Okay, that's a nice arena pickup. Wow, 9/7 with Divine Shield. Woo! Doesn't do anything. 8 mana cards are infinitely more comfortable to play than 9 mana cards. 9 mana cards just hurt. They hurt to play, man. They are so tough to play. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. Oh my god. Bulldozer. Jeez. I don't think you'd ever run it. Ever. I mean, it's just the Force Tank Max, man. This is just an arena card. Yeah, it's a bulldozer. Do you get the art? It's pretty clever. Cloak, Scale, Chemist, Stealth, Divine Shield. Huh. This card makes me just suspicious. Huh. I mean, the thing about this is that it has stealth, so, like, we can target this with a ton of stuff easily. I've tried to make so many. Well, maybe this would actually be good in the Buffetin. But it's just, like, the buff Paladin right now does not really struggle to get buff targets. I guess you could play this on turn 2 and then just, like, not attack with it and then just be able to play Blessing of Kings on it. That could actually be really good. Will Buffetin be good, says Max225. Dude, I already hit Legend with my buff Paladin, man. Call to Arms. This feels weird. I mean, it's begging to be run in a Paladin. I don't feel like I would run this in my Paladin at all. Microtech Controller. Summon 2 1/1 Microbots. I have no idea how to evaluate these vanilla cards. Oh gosh. I don't even know. It's 3 mana for a distributed. This is really nice in Arena because you can kind of distribute the things, but I think this doesn't excite me. This doesn't seem very runnable. Galvanizer. Reduce the cost of mechs in your hand by 1. Huh. You know, the funny thing is that, like, my knee-jerk reaction was, amazing, Galvanizer, oh my god, everything's gonna cost 1, I'm just gonna keep playing things, ah! You know, we're gonna get so many mechs. However, there's that elemental card that shamans have. This is reduce elemental costs in your hand by 1. Not an amazing thing. The stat lines of mechs are not really as intimidating as I had thought, right? Like, there's formerly been, if you think back to when Mech Mage was a thing, there was actually a lot of really viciously statted mechs. Really, like the Mech Warper. 2 mana, 2/3. Your mechs cost 1 less. Wow. This does slow things down. If we're an aggro, if we're trying to play this as... Okay, I can imagine maybe there's a combo out there with it. I don't see it, obviously. But if we're an aggro deck, how many things is Galvanizer going to get? 3 or 4? Is that good enough? I'm right on the fence with this one. I do not think that this is an all-star card. I think it's right on the fence, this Galvanizer. If it was all mechs in your hand cost 1, whew. Spark Engine Battle Cry. Add a 1/1 spark with rush to your hand. Huh. Very unexciting to me. Very unexciting to me. Sparks or elementals? Unpowered Mauler. Can only attack if you cast a spell this turn. Not thick enough. Not like Ancient Watcher that's like a 4/5 that can't attack. So if you can work around that, it feels really worth it. Would this be run in Rogue? God, I can't even imagine it. Rogue is kind of like the most spell-heavy, consistently board-focused class. So, nah. Giggling Inventor, summon 2/1/2 mechs with Taunt and Divine Shield. I actually think that this is a very good card. I think that this is a very, 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 very good card. Holy cow. Jesus, that's great. Wow. Holy shit, that's an amazing card. Dude, 2 really reliable taunts, and I get a 2/1, and it costs 1 card? Fuck. Yes, please. And their mechs. Oh yeah, this is a really nice card. Wow. Hello. Replicating Menace. Magnetic summon 3/1/1 microbots. This does not really... Well, no, does it? How many stats is it? It's a 7/4. 4 mana, 7/4. Doesn't excite me very much. It's such a... It sucks so much on its own. 6/4? Yeah. It's a 4 mana 7/4, man. Come on. Arcane Dynamo, Battlecry, discover a spell that costs 5 or more. It's a spell. It's so unreliable. Really unreliable, really random. Not going to run it. Mechanical Whelp, summon a 7/7 Mechanical Dragon. Mechanical Dragon. I think this card's actually better than I want to give it credit for. Like, if you think about the Possessed Lackey that was the 5/5, the 5 mana 2/2 that said Recruit a Demon, seemed really weak. Turns out to be really, 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 really strong, even though it needs some activators. Like Mechanical Whelp, sort of like the same thing, except it's not peeling out of your deck. Seems very cubable. Hunters feel like Play Dead, Terrascale Stalker, the other little mech that triggers Death Rattle. I actually think Mechanical Whelp's going to see a lot of play. I think it will. Getting 7/7s out seems pretty great. Master Oakheart target. No, I don't think it actually matters that much. Magnetic, at the end of your turn, deal 1 damage to all other characters. Oh my gosh, you could put this on a poisonous dude. Okay, we got some combonies. The only poison bot is the Hunter one, huh? No, this is weird. Nah, don't care about Missile Launcher. There is, like, no way. There's no way that this is ever going to see the light of day. I mean, yeah. I like what Max225 says. You have a snow chugger, you magnetize that, and then everything gets frozen, man. That's so good. There's potential for discovering this. Yeah, maybe it's Control Hunter clear, but dude, you gotta be really careful about 2-card combos for clear in Hunter. You just have such bad card draw. Chugga. Spark Drill, Rush, Death Rattle. Add 2/1/1 sparks with Rush to your hand. Deal 5 damage. Deal 5 damage. It's just a removal spell, really. It's like pay 6 mana for a slightly worse fireball against a creature only. You know, part of me wonders if this would actually just be a common run if there's too many 1/1s. This does seem like a really nice tech card. This card does seem pretty great removal in like Arena, but eh. Crystallizer is such a fascinating card. Deal 5 damage to your hero, gain 5 armor. Very clear Warlock enabler, huh? Like super clear Warlock enabler. A pseudo Warrior enabler. I think more than anything, though, this is a 1-mana 1/3, which is just a really nice stat line for a lot of aggro decks. There's some aggro decks that are looking for like 2/1s because they want to deal as much face damage as possible. There's a lot of things, though, that are like a Paladin that kind of wants to build a board to be able to have stickiness with all the minions that you know, can then later break through. So Dire Moles have been getting run. Crystallizer, I think, is just another 1/3 that'll be getting run. Yeah. Augmented Elephant. Whenever you shuffle a card into a deck, shuffle in an extra copy. Alright, we got some memes incoming. Okay. Pogos. You want your Pogos getting shuffled in? Oh yeah, let's shuffle in nothing but Pogos, man. 3 mana, 3/4. Spiders. You want to shuffle some spiders into the deck? Yeah, let's shuffle nothing but spiders into there. I think Augmented Elec is going to be one of the cards that people try to get to work, but they're going to cut the Elec in favor of just a really basic card that has more consistency. Because, you know, you don't really need... By the way, notice this is whenever you shuffle a card into your deck, shuffle in an extra copy. Let's think about that for a moment. Whenever you shuffle a card into your deck, shuffle an extra copy. Does that mean if I shuffle 3 cards in, it will then shuffle 6 cards? Or is it that if it shuffles 3 cards in, it will now shuffle 4 cards? Sounds like it's a doubler. Sounds like it's a doubler. I just want to make sure. I don't know if anyone's seen it. I mean, there's things like Dire Frenzy, shuffle in 3 copies. Now we can go to 4. Oh, it's also whenever you shuffle a card into a deck, shuffle in an extra copy. Any more poison cards we can put into the opponents, huh? I just don't think it's going to really get run. It seems weird. Here's what I mean, is that like there's certain combo card type things that exist. Or there's certain moves in Hearthstone where you don't... The problem is not that the move isn't weak enough. It's getting to be able to do that move. So for instance, like... take for instance the Pogo Hopper. Pogo Hopper, it's a 1/1 that gets +2/+2 for each previous Pogo Hopper that you've cast. I think a very clear issue that deck will have is that once we've shuffled these Pogo Hoppers in, we need to make sure that we don't die before we can start playing some 9/9, 11/11, 13/13 Pogo Hoppers, right? If we can do that, we're probably going to win. How would the Augmented Elec change that? Well, Augmented Elec would be if we can get to 13/13 and 15/15 Pogo Hoppers, but we just can't quite win with them. So what we need is 3 extra Pogo Hoppers getting shuffled in. That's what the Elec solves. So it does not actually seem to solve problems for us. It doesn't seem to solve any problems for us. Omega Defender Taunt, Battlecry. If you have 10 mana crystals, gain +10 attack. What is a 12/6 Taunter ever going to do? I think it's very arguable that if you are a control Warlock, you might be able to do some threats like that. No, there's nothing that makes any sense to me about a 12/6 with Taunt. Pepper Sprites is double cards from Falderay Strider, though. I would much rather run a Lab Recruiter, which is a 3/2 that shuffles 3 copies of the Falderay Strider in. Omega Defender is amazingly not a mech. Amazingly. This doesn't seem spectacular, you know. I think the problem is that it's hard to fit in. It's hard to fit in there. Be good for arena where there's not a lot of removals. 6 health just seems like it's going to be able to get removed. Seems like it's going to be able to get removed. Weaponized Pinata, Death Rattle, add a random legendary minion to your hand. Huh. Probably bad. Probably bad. It's a 4/3 for 4. Meh. EMP Operative, destroy a mech. Oh my god. Oh my god. Look at the big fun hunter. Oh my god. The EMP Operative, you're kidding me. Oh man. Oh dude. Time to run 2 of these and a Shadow Priest. Be boring. Grind the game out. Blow stuff up. You want to magnetize? You got it. It's all yours. After your opponent plays a minion, summon a 1/1 copy of it. Inconsistent. Only going to be a tech card. Not great. Sephorium Bomber. Shuffle a bomb into your opponent's deck. When drawn, it explodes for 5 damage. It is a good day to elect. Oh my god. Okay. Oh my god. 10 mana. Okay? Play an elect. Play a Sephorium Bomber. Shuffle 2 bombs into there. Then play a Lab Recruiter and shuffle 6 Sephorium Bombers into your deck. Everything else in your deck is draw, vanish, defense, etc. That's how we're going to do it. Yes. It's going to be the biggest crock of BS ever. Oh my god, we're doing it with the Sephorium Bomber text. Loose Specimen. Deals 6 damage randomly split among other friendly minions. What? Okay. So this, in a very vanilla sense, it's a 5 mana 6/6. 5 mana 6/6. Could maybe work in an egg deck. It's such a strong downside. Deals 6 damage randomly split among other friendly minions. I mean, honestly, I don't know. I don't know about this one. This seems like a real weird weak card. Makes sense that it's neutral. Starliner. Okay, this card, if you control 3 minions with 7 health, deals 7 damage to all enemies. At most 1 in a Taunt Druid, but boy do I want to run it in a Taunt Druid. Ooh. Starliner is the most ridiculous card. The most ridiculous card, man. Oh my gosh, that is so great. Okay, so you just need 2 cards with 7 or more health, because Starliner itself is a card that has... Oh wait, if you control 3 minions with 7 health, deal 7 damage to all enemies. Oh, it's exactly 7 health. What? So terrible. Whizbang the Wonderful. You know, this card was a little weird to me, because I thought it was going to be, there's like 4 nutso decks, and you're going to get one of them you're going to play. But what this actually means is that this deck, this is not a meme deck. It does not make a meme deck. You're all totally mistaken, as I was mistaken. This takes a deck recipe and gives it to you. It's the deck recipe. So in other words, if you go to create deck and you see one of those like, oh, do you want to be like a token druid, or do you want to be an aggro warrior? It just picks one of those and gives it to you. So it's a really nice introductory thing for like new players. I think everyone should just get it. Harbinger Celestia. Stealth. After your opponent plays a minion, become a copy of it. So not useful. So bad. So not good. Oh. Oh my gosh. So not good. 4 mana, 5/6. If you play a creature, if you play a 1/1, she becomes a 1/1, and we're done. It's a 4 mana mirror entity. Okay? 4 mana mirror entity. This is terrible. It's so easy to play around. Subject 9. Draw 5 different secrets from your deck. What? 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 I did not know this card existed. What? Okay. That's pretty good. All right. Wow, it's a neutral. All right, it's a 5 mana 4/4 that does a lot of good stuff. Ziliax, Magnetic, Divine Shield, Taunt, Lifesteal, Rush. Is that any good? Seems fine. I mean, it does a lot of stuff. I think it'll be a staple in certainly some more control-ish decks. But seems pretty fine. Seems pretty fine. Seems fine. It's not like, I don't think it's ever going to be an amazing, like, oh my god, the whole game is different now that I'm running Ziliax. But, I mean, it's an odd-costed, solid little mech that I think fits very neatly into the mech package. So, seems fine. Mechathune. If you have no cards in your deck, hand and battlefield, destroy the enemy hero. I don't think you can ever get this off. How the hell do you activate this? Do you play the rogue card that draws your whole deck, and then you just chuck everything out and slam Mechathune, and then leave one card in your hand that gets Mechathune killed? Warlock, Cataclysm, Blood Bloom. We're going to be doing this next week for sure. For sure. Oh my god, dude. Imagine Warlock just going and going and going and going and going and going. Just digging deep, drawing, going. You reduce it by 2 mana. How do you reduce it by 2 mana? Shadow Step could reduce it to 8. How do you reduce this thing's mana? Galvanizer? Right? Wow. Wow, that's right. We run the Galvanizer. For you who don't know what I'm referring to, it's this card we looked at way long ago. I think it's right up here. Where is it? Did I scroll past it? Remember the art. Yeah, I think I just accidentally scrolled right by it. Yeah, there it is. Whoops. Reduce the cost of mechs in your hand by 1. So we do that. Oh my god. Yeah, that's the deck right there. That actually does sound pretty good. Wow. Wow, you just play 2 of those. It's 8, and then you Blood Bloom Cataclysm. Wow. Wow. You can even make it an even deck. That's a point right there. We need more. More arms. Now. Gearblade now. That's it. That's it. Oh my gosh. Holy cow. Yeah, the Warlock Mechathune deck actually might as well be too good. People are suggesting Hemet to help the combo as well. Oh yeah, no, we're definitely that's a deck right there. Holy cow, that actually seems like it would be very strong. Whew, holy moly. You Hemet to destroy your deck. You double Galvanize to reduce Mechathune to 8. Then you Blood Bloom Cataclysm. Alright, well here's what's going to happen. I'm going to take a brief break. After we just briefly review. The big takeaways that I gleaned from this card review is that the mechs are interesting, but they're not powerful in the way of mechs of the past. Like, the old mech cards were just really insanely highly statted, like a Goblin Blast Mage and the Mech Warper, Piloted Shredder. There's just these thick, vicious mechs. The mechs here seem a lot more technical. I think that there's going to be more about comboing and timing with the mechs. I think there's reasonable acceptability that there's going to be some aggro mech decks, but I actually think that a Warrior Mech Control is going to be interesting. There's a lot of even and odd focus in there that's like super, super cool, super fascinating. So when we get the expansion next week, I'm going to be doing an starting early stream, 11 a.m. I know I said 10 a.m. earlier, but I lied to you. 11 a.m. on Tuesday, and I'll be playing all day, 8 hours straight. Then we're doing full day shows Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, all of Hearthstone. It's going to be a massive Hearthstone week. Yeah! We're undoubtedly going to be doing some of these Mechathune memes. I also want to try to test out some of the Control Warrior archetypes. Odd Control Warrior, I think, could be really, really interesting. I think that there's going to be some... I might just keep trying to jam on those Buffadin decks because they're really, really strong. I'm going to get a better sense once we actually get our hands on that stuff. It's going to be sick.